Hello everyone. So from this video we'll be start working with our first module, which will be the slider module. As you know, at our home page we have a slider. This is our top section, basically the first section where we are showing a slider, right? So we have to make this slider dynamic, and first of all, for make this slider dynamic, we have to create a dynamic CRUD at our backend, right? After completing the CRUD, we'll be showing the dynamic contents from our database here. So that's means from now we'll be start working with our backend first. In the backend we'll be creating a CRUD for our slider, then we'll be completing our front end part. So let's start our work. In this video what we'll be doing is we'll be creating the necessary files like view files, then controllers, migration, etc. So let's do it then. First of all, let's go inside of our dashboard. Let's add here admin@gmail.com, and my password is 128. Login. Okay, so it is saying page expire. Why? Let me see. Refresh this page. Let's view our login again. Admin login. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm at the dashboard. Now the first thing what I'll do is I will create a new sidebar item here, which will be for our slider. So let's do it then. Let's go to code editor and let me close this up. Now let's open our sidebar, as we'll be working with the admin. So let's open the admin folder, layouts, and we have the sidebar.play.php. Okay, let's scroll a bit. Here is our dashboard ally, right? After that we have this starter. Basically this is the menu header. After that we have some commands. So basically I will copy this ally. Look at here, I already comment out a ally here previously. Put it here. Let me format it, uncomment this one. So basically this is a ally. Look at here, the title is blank page. Let's go to our code editor, front end, refresh this page. Look at here, a sidebar item has been appeared. We'll be changing it to slider like that. And we have href here, just remove it, we don't need that one. And yeah, refresh. So look at here, the item name has been changed to slider. Okay, now let's create our necessary files. Like I'll be creating a controller for the slider, a migration, and also a model. Let's go to code editor, open the terminal, and let's create the controller first. PHP artisan make controller, and I'll create the controller inside the admin folder, and our controller name will be slider controller, and it will be a resource controller. So I will put here r actually, press enter, and our controller has been created inside the admin folder. Nice. Now let's create the model and the migration. PHP artisan make model, and our model name will be slider, and also I'll create the migration along the side. So let's add here -m, so it will create the migration also. Press enter. Look at here, our model has been created, and as well as the migration has been created. Okay, nice. Now what we have to do is, as we created resource route, as we created a resource route, we have to register our route. Let's open the, we created a resource controller, so we have to register our resource route into the admin.php, as we are working with the admin. Let's go to bottom. These are the profile routes. Fine, I'll copy this command, paste it here. This time we are working with the slider, right? Slider routes, like that. Let's register our resource route. Resource. First of all, we have to add our URI, route URI, which will be, let's say, slider, and our controller name is slider controller, this one. Press enter, and it will import I mean VS Code will import the class at the top here. As you can see, it imported it. Fine. Now you can add here colon class, like that, in this line. Fine. Our route has been registered. If you want to double check it, you can just run php artisan route list command in the console, or you can say in the terminal, or we can just press Ctrl Shift P, and inside this prompt we can search for artisan route list. Look at here, it is suggesting us artisan route list. Click on it and it will show all of our routes. Okay, so our terminal automatically opened. So what I'll do, I will just make it smaller, and look at here, you can see all of our routes are available here. Okay, you can search your routes from here. If I search for slider, look at here, here is all of our slider routes. We have the index route for the slider, store, create, I mean all the necessary code routes are available here. And if you don't know about how can we view our routes in the VS Code, basically this is the extension that we installed previously before starting this course, right? Remember, we installed a extension pack for Laravel. In there we have a artisan extension also. So via help of that extension we can run this sort of commands into our VS Code directly. Pretty handy stuff. Let's close this up. So our all the necessary files has been created. Now we'll be creating some view files as well. So what I want to do is, when I will click on this slider, it will show us the slider index page. Okay, so let's collapse everything and let's open the resources view. Inside the admin folder, I'll create a new folder which will be slider. In here I will create index.get.php, which will be holding our index page data. Mainly in the index page we'll be showing the list of the sliders. For now we'll be just creating the page view. Dynamic portion will be handling later on. So as it's a empty page, first of all what we have to do, we have to extend our master, right? So I can call a_template init, so it will give us the snippets. So previously we created this snippet, if you recall. First of all, what we are doing, we are extending our master. Then we have this section tag. Inside of it we have to put our section. Got it? Okay, for now we'll be not putting it here anything. First of all, what we have to do is, let's go to our controller, slider controller, not this one, slider controller. Here inside the admin folder, here we have the index, right? From here what I'll do, I will return our index page, return view admin dot slider index, like that. Got it? Now we have to add the index route into our sidebar item, because when we'll be clicking on this slider, it will return our index view, I mean slider index view, right? Okay, so here in the href I will add routes, and here we have to put our route name, right? So as we register a resource route, so our route name will be, if I go to my admin.php, our URI of this route is basically a slider, right? So the name of our route will be admin, which is our prefix, admin dot, then slider dot index, like that. If you you are not sure about what will be your route name, you can again press Ctrl Shift P and run the command artisan route list. Click on it, it will show you all of your routes, and from here search for slider, and look at here, here is all of our slider route. And what we are doing is, we have to use the index route into our this slider item here, because when we will click on this button, it will show us the index page, right? Look at here, in the name section you can see all of your route names, right? So from here we're using basically this route name, admin.slider.index. Okay, so we added it here. I hope you understand. Now let's go here, refresh this page. Let's click on slider. Now look at here, we're getting a view here, right? Our page is empty. Look at the route. We are at the /admin/slider page. So this is our index page. We'll be putting some contents here first of all. So let's add some contents. Okay, what I'll do here is, let's go to index.blade.php. Now what I'll do is I'll open this dashboard folder, because in the dashboard folder we have also a index.blade.php, right? Okay, so what I can do here is I can copy everything from here. Just copy it. We'll be using the skeleton only. Let's go here and remove everything from here and paste the copied code here. Now if I go here, look at here, we have a section header here, then we have a row. Inside the row we have some contents, right? So I'll just collapse this row, remove the entire row from here. Now if I go to Frontend, refresh this page, you'll be seeing that we have a header option here which is saying dashboard. We'll be changing it to slider because we are working with the slider. Refresh this page, look at here, now we are getting slider here. Now here we need some sort of card, right? Now this body is empty. I'll be adding here a card. So let's open our HTML template of the admin panel. Just open any of them. Okay, now what I'll do is let's go to bootstrap, then here is the cards. Click on the cards and look at here, we have some card examples, right? So from here we can grab any of the cards. Let me see, what can I get from here. I guess this will be the best for us. Here is the card design. We have a header, then here we can put our content, and also we have a button here which is also necessary because we need a create button also, so we can use this one as our create button. Anyways, let's inspect this card. Here is the card main body, card primary. Just collapse this one, right click, copy outer HTML. Now let's go back to our code editor, and in this section after the this class, I mean this div section header, we'll be pasting our card exactly here. Got it? Now we can just refactor it, format document, it will refactor. Now we can go to our front-end path in the admin, refresh this page, look at here, we have a card here, right? So that's it, our index page is ready. In this position we'll be showing all of our slider list. Basically, as you know that in the most of the time in the index page, basically will be we show list of our contents, right? And here as you can see we have a button which is view all. Actually I'll be changing it to create new, something like that. Refresh this page, look at here, we have a button here. I mean the button name is changed. This will be our create button. When we will be clicking on this button, it will open another page which will be our create page. Got it? So I guess our skeleton is ready for this slider. So that's it for this video. In the next video we'll be setting up a Laravel Yajra Datatable. Basically we'll be not using a normal bootstrap Datatable or other tables. We'll be using a full-fledged Datatable which is basically Yajrabox Datatable. So in the next video we'll be talking about it more clearly, and we'll be installing it as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the next video. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be installing Yajrabox Datatable into our project. Now if you didn't work with Yajrabox previously, I already covered the Yajrabox Datatable in my fundamental playlist. Please check it out. If you watch that, you will get a basic idea how to work with the Yajrabox Datatable. And if you don't want to watch it, it's totally fine, because most of the thing I'll be explaining it explaining it here as well, so it will be not a big issue. But if you had a previous knowledge about Yajrabox Datatable, how to work it, it will be a plus for you. You'll be catching up everything easily. So let's start our work. First of all, what we will be doing is we'll be installing the package into our Laravel project. So for that I'll be searching for Yajrabox yajrabox.com. So this is the official website of the Yajrabox. Just search for yajrabox.com, press enter, it will take you to the Yajrabox website. And here, as you can see, here we have lots of package. You have to select the first one, which is Laravel Datatables. Just click on it and look at here. This is the official documentation of the Yajrabox Datatable. Okay, so from here, go to tutorials, click on tutorials, then quick starter, click on it. So here you will be get some instruction how to install Yajrabox into Laravel. So they are creating a new projects and other all we don't need them. So we'll be starting from this composer command. So here, as you can see, we have a composer command for install the Yajrabox Datatable into our project. So just copy this command, composer command. Let's go to code editor, open the terminal. Let me make it a little bit big, clear this up, paste the command, enter, and it will start installing the package into the project. Okay, the installation is completed. Now let's go back again at the documentation. Then what they're doing, they're creating a database and installing the Datatable dependencies. Okay, so we'll be not installed, we'll be not using the void. Basically they're using void for installing the assets. We'll be using CDN, so I guess we don't need to do anything here. Let's go to top and let's click on getting start. Then let's click on introduction, not the introduction, click on the installation. Actually in the requirement, as you can see, it is required Laravel 9 or 10 and also jQuery Datatable. We install the package into our project. Now what we have to do, we have to set up the jQuery Datatable. Just click on this link, it will take you to the jQuery Datatable.net. This is the official site of the jQuery Datatable, and Yajrabox Datatable basically under the hood use this jQuery Datatable. Okay, so here, as you can see, we have a CSS and JavaScript CDN link. Just copy the CSS and let's go to our master.blade.php. Make sure you open the admin master and we have to import the CSS. Let's go to top. Here I will add link in the href, just paste the CDN. Let's go back, we have the JavaScript also. Click copy on copy the code. Let's go to bottom. Here we will add a script tag, script src, and inside the src we'll be adding our CDN, like that. Got it? So our Yajrabox Datatable setup is ready. Now let's see how to use it. Let's go back to documentation of the Yajrabox Datatable, and again we will go to tutorials, then quick starter. Okay, so asset part is done for us. Installing Datatables via Vite. We are not using the Vite, we're using the CDN. So let's scroll a bit. We'll proceed from third step, set up a user Datatable. Now here, as you can see, we have a command php artisan Datatable : make then users. So basically this is the command for creating Datatable. We can create Datatable service class with this command. So in this example they're using users table, or you can see user model, but we don't need the users model because we will be creating a Datatable for our slider. Currently we are working with the slider, and as I said that in our slider index page we'll be showing the list of the slider and we'll be showing them in Datatable, right? So for slider model we have to create a Datatable. So what I'll do is I'll copy this portion of the command. Let's go to our code editor, open the terminal, let's clear it up. Let's paste the command php artisan Datatable : make space, then we have to provide our model name. So remember we created the model and our model name is let me show you, app models slider.php. so slider is our basically model name. So here we will be putting our model name, which is slider. Make sure the model name is correct, otherwise the class will not work. Just define your model name here and that's it. Press enter and it will create a new file inside the Datatables folder with your model name. So the full name of our class is slider datatable.php. If I go here inside the app folder, look at here, it created a new folder which is Datatables, and inside of it we have a class which is slider datatable.php. Look at here, we have some methods here which will help us for maintaining our Datatable. Got it? So we'll be seeing it how to work with this class little bit later on, because before using this table we will be needing some fields into our database, and we didn't work with our migration. I mean, we created the migration but we didn't add any kind of fields there, right? So, and also we didn't migrated our file, so there isn't any kind of slider table into our database yet. So first of all we have to complete our migration and other stuff, then we'll be seeing that how we can use this class for show our slider content at our index page here. Okay, so that's it for this video. Yajrabox Datatable package has been successfully installed into our project. So in the next video we'll be working with our migration. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be adding columns into our slider migrations. Previously, as you know, that we created the migration. If I go to app, then not app actually, open the database migrations, and here we have slider migration. We created the migration but we didn't add any kind of column here, and also we didn't migrate this migration, right? So we have to put here all the necessary columns for the slider contents. Okay, now how you will find that what kind of columns you have to provide here, or you can say create here? You have to understand it by looking at your design. Look at here, here is our slider, right? So in the slider, in this portion, we have to show a image, right? So for holding the image, or you can say for holding the image path, we need a column. Then we have this offer portion as well. Here we can show our discount person or anything. So for store this stuff, we need another column as well. So similar way, at the right hand side we have a main title, then we have a subtitle, then we have a small description, then we have a button. For each of this element we need separated columns into our table, database table, right? For hold the title we need a column, for hold the subtitle we need a column. Similar way for the description, and for hold the button link we need more columns, right? So in total we need 1 2 3 4 5 6 column, and I'll be creating 7th column. Actually there will be a status column as well. If the admin want to disable a slider, he will be able to disable it via the value of the status column. So let's start our work. Let's define some columns into our migration. So in the migration file, inside this create method, here we will call this table instance, then we will chain the data type of our column. So first of all I will create a column for the image, right? For the image path, so it will be a text column, because image name can be big sometime, or you can see image path can be big, so it is secure to add data type text for image type of fields. Okay, so I will call it image, the column name will be image. Then I will create another one. This will for this offer portion, right? So it will be string, and we can call this column name offer, like that. Let's create another column which will be also string, which will be holding our this title string. I'll call the column title. Then we can copy this one, paste it again. After that we have this subtitle, right? So sub underscore title. Then after the subtitle, what we have a short description here. So just copy this one. This one also will be a string, because it will be a short description. Short, it will be description, short description. after this short description, what we have this button, and basically this will be an anchor tag. When the user will click on this button, he will redirect to any other page. So for store the button link, button link will be basically dynamic. So for store the button link, we need another column. So we can add here button link like that. And as I said, there will be a status column as well, which will be a boolean column, because the status column will only hold two values, I mean one values actually. Status, it will be a boolean value, either 0 or 1. So this all will be our database column. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. As I said, we created 7 columns. Let me check it out again. Do we need any other columns? I guess not. That is enough for our slider portion. So let's migrate this one. PHP artisan migrate. Press enter and look at here, our sliders table has been migrated. Now if I double check it, if I go to database, open, here is our food park database that we are using. Here, as you can see, a new table has been appeared, which is sliders. Open this one, look at here, here is our columns: image, offer, title, subtitle, description, and all. Okay, so that's it, our table is ready. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll be creating some seeders for our this table. So till then, bye. Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be creating a factory for our slider table. So in previous video, we created a migration. I mean, we added the column for the migration, and we migrated this table, right? Slider table. Now let's create some seeders for it. I mean, we'll be creating a factory which will help us for seed some dummy contents for our this slider table. So let's start our work. First of all, let's create a factory for our slider. So let's go here in the terminal. I will say PHP artisan make a factory, and we have to provide our factory name. Then you have to provide your factory name. So Laravel have its own convention for naming stuff, as you know. So for create the factory, I mean declaring the factory name, first of all we'll be specifying the model name, then we will suffix it with factory. Let me show you. So we are creating a factory for sliders, right? And if you remember, our model name is, if I open app model, our model name is slider, right? So first of all, I will start with the model name, which is slider. Then I will say factory. Okay, press enter and it will create a factory class for us. Let's close this up. Let's collapse everything from here. Let's open the database factories, and here, as you can see, we have a newly created factory for us. So in here you will find only one method, which is definition. It will basically return an array. Inside of the array you have to define your attributes with values. Okay, so what we'll be doing is, in our database we have these columns, right? We added these columns. For all the columns we'll be putting values. Got it? Okay, so let's start our work. Let's go here and let's start with image. In the image field, what we'll do, we will just add a random string. Let's say uploads/test. That's it. Because in the this image field is basically required. It cannot be nullable, right? And in this field we'll be storing our image path, right? So currently, as we didn't work with our create path of the slider, so that's kind of obvious that we don't have any kind of slider images. So instead of making this path empty, we are just adding a random string here. You can add anything here, it doesn't matter, as we will be just creating some dummy datas for our slider, right? Okay, so the next one will be the offer. Let's say this will be the offer, and as it's a string, I'll be adding a static string here also, let's say 50%. After that, what we have title. So in the title, now we can use some dynamic title stuff. So for that, I will call a helper function which is fake. Okay, with this fake function, you can create some fake data for your attributes. Let's say I will add here string, not a string actually, sentence. So it will create a sentence for us. Okay, now we can add here limit that how long the sentence will be. Let's say by default it will contain 6 words, which is kind of enough for us. Okay, now the next one is subtitle. Let's copy this one, paste it again, and we will again use the fake function, and we will create again a sentence, a random sentence, just sentence. And for this one we can add, let's say 10 words. After that, what we have here, we have short description. Let's add the attribute name here. Then we will be using fake again. This time we will create a paragraph. So how many sentences it will have? It will have 2 sentences, that's all. So in the paragraph you can pass that how many lines this paragraph will have. So I'm adding here 2, so it will create 2 sentences in the paragraph. That's it. Now let's go here. We have the button link. We can put it here. Let's use the faker again, fake. Let's add URL, so it will generate a random URL for us. And the last one is basically the status. So let's put the status here, and it will be fake, and it will be a boolean. So it will generate a random boolean for us. Okay, so our factory is ready. We defined our attributes and attributes values. Right now we have to run this. We can run this factory for create dummy contents for our slider table. Okay, so we can do it via 2 ways. We can register this factory into our database. The database seeder. Open the seeders folder. You'll find this database seeders.php. Here we can define the factory. Look at here, Laravel have a example comment out here. Like that, we can register our class inside this run method, and when we will run PHP artisan dbseed, it will seed, call the factory and seed the data. So we'll be register it here first. Let's copy this example code, paste it here like that, and what we will do, we'll replace the user with our factory, our model name. So our model name is slider, like that, slider factory, and inside the factory you can define how many data you want. Let's say for slider I'll create 3 slider, and then you have to change this create method. So now when we will be running PHP artisan dbseed, it will create 3 datas for our slider depending on the data that we provided here. Got it? So I'll be not running the dbseed because I'll be using tinker command for executing this factory. Okay, we can use tinker command as well. So PHP artisan make make tinker, PHP artisan tinker, and as you can see I'm inside the tinker shell. Now here add a backslash, then we will call our model, which is slider, then colon factory, and inside the factory we have to add the number of data we want. So let's say 4 in my case. Let's change the create method, and in the line press enter, and look at here, it created 4 data for us here, as you can see in the output. If I check it out in my database, let's open the database manager. Here I am selected the sliders table. From here, if I go to data, look at here, I have 4 datas here, right? it generated dynamically some random titles. We have some subtitles, short description, and some random links here. Got it? Then here, as you can see in the status, we have some boolean values as well, right? So our factory is created. Now you can generate as many dummy data you want with this command, the command that we run, this one, right? Okay, and make sure you always register your factory into the seeder as well. Look at here, I already registered the factory into the database seeder.php inside this run method. Why we have to do that? Because via tinker command you can just seed specific models. First of all, look at here, we have to define our model name, then factory, then we have to create it, right? But for make it automate, we will register this factory into our seeder, I mean inside this database seeder.php. So what will happen when we will be running php artisan dbseed, it will run all of the seeder files and as well as factory files for us. We don't have to select our model and create the factories manually, right? For now, we don't have to use the dbseed command. We'll be using tinker shell for creating fake data for our models. Okay, so I hope you understand. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll be working with our index page. We'll be showing the created data, I mean the fake data that we created in this video in our index page. I mean not here actually, in this page. Okay, and we'll be doing it with our Yajrabox Datatable. So till then, bye. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be showing some data into our slider index page. As you know that in previously we seeded some dummy data into our slider table, right? Now let's fetch them, and we'll be fetching them and showing them in our data table. Okay, so let's start our work. Let's go to code editor, and I'll be collapsing everything from here, and let's open our index page. Let me see, Frontend, not Frontend actually. Go to resource, view, admin, then we have slider index.blade.php. So in previously what we did is we implemented the Yajrabox Datatable into our project, and as well as we created a service class with the Datatable command, which is inside this Datatables folder. Look at here, slider datatable.php, right? Okay. Now what we have to do is let me show you. Let's go to the documentation of the Yajrabox Datatable. So I already opened it. If I go to top, I'm inside tutorial, then quick starter again. You just have to scroll a bit, go to the third step. In the third step, as you can see, we have a command for create the Datatable class. We already did it. Now here, as you can see, we have a Datatable class like this into our this Datatable folder. We can skip this one too. Now if I scroll a bit, here as you can see, they're creating a controller. So we already have a controller for our slider. We don't have to do it. Then what they're doing is they're injecting their Datatable class that they created inside of the index method here. Look at here. Then from there, instead of returning the view from the Datatable instance, they're rendering the view. Look at here. Okay. Then inside the blade file, they are echoing the Datatable. Look at here, from the Datatable variable, they're calling this table method. It will generate the method, table structure, and at the last, they're pushing this JavaScript codes. This is basically dynamic, so they are just echoing it. Okay, let's do it then. First of all, let me show you how to do that. We can close this sidebar Datatable for now. We can open our index slider controller. Let's search for slider controller. Here it is. Look at here. In previously what we did is we return our slider index view directly from our index. So that's why when we're going to this slider index page, when we're clicking on the slider, I guess my session has been expired, so I'm logged out. Let's go here, log in first. admin@gmail.com. Password is 128. Login. Okay, so as I was saying, so when we are clicking on the slider link, it is showing us this index view, right? So currently we don't have anything here except this card, so that's why we're getting this empty card, right? And it is happening because we're returning the index view. So this time what we have to do, we'll be not using this view helper function for return our view, we'll be rendering it. First of all, what we have to do, we have to inject our Datatable class, which is slider Datatable that we created inside of this method. So let's inject it, slider Datatable, like that, and we will add a variable here which will be Datatable. So this will be our Datatable instance. Let's just remove the view part from here. Now what we'll do is we will call the Datatable, this Datatable instance. Basically from there we will chain render method. Okay, in the render method we have to pass our view like that, I mean the view path, and our view is inside admin slider index. I know VS Code is giving us some sort of error here, you can ignore it, we'll be fixing it, no need to worry. So it is looking like that, right? Now if I go to front end, refresh this page, we're getting an error. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, I made a typo here, it will be rendered. Let's go here, refresh this page again, and look at here, we are seeing everything exactly like before, no error so far. We're getting our card, that's mean our index is rendering, right? But you can ask, where is our data table? We have to declare our data table at our blade file, so that's why our this portion is completed in the controller path. Now if I scroll a bit here, as you can see, they have this bootstrap code, sorry, not bootstrap, blade code actually. In the card body, look at here, they're generating the data table. You just have to echo this method like this. I will just copy this line from here. If I scroll a bit, you will see it better way. Look at here, this is the code. If I go to controller, actually in the controller, as you can see, we are injected our this slider data table, right? Then what we are doing is we are from this Datatable instance, we are calling this render method, and we are passing the index file, I mean slider index file. That means this property, or you can say this object, will automatically inject to our this blade file. So that's why if I open my index blade of the slider, here is the slider folder, open the index.blade.php, and here is the card body, and in this position inside the card body I want to render my table, right? So in that position what I'll do is I'll just paste this line. This will generate, or you can say render, the data table. And as I said, as we're using this render method from this data table instance, this instance will automatically accessible, I mean will be available to our view file also in our blade file. So we can just call it, and from there we can call the table. Okay, now the last part is we have to render the JavaScripts of the data table as well. So for that we have to echo this line, right? So they're using this push directive and the key is scripts, like we have. Just copy this one, go outside of the section, paste this code, right? As you know that we have a stack directive into our master blade. If I open the master.blade.php of the admin, and at the bottom, as you can see, we have a stack. We added this key in the stacks for the scripts, I mean JavaScript codes. So this and this actually matches, so we don't have to change anything here. We are just rendering the data table scripts here. That's all we have to do. Now if I go here, refresh this page, look at here, our data table has been appeared, right? We are already can see some datas also. Here, as you can see here, we are seeing IDs from our data table, I mean sorry, not data table, database table. In the slider table I have that many datas. I know previously I created 3 datas, but we have 6 datas because for testing I created some more datas in that time. Anyways, we will be deleting it anyway. But look at here, now our table has been appeared. Look at here, we have a select input here. From here we can select how many data we want to show. Then we have a search input here as well, and this is a live search. If I search anything, depending on my string, it will show us the search result, but currently we are getting some errors. It's kind of obvious because our work isn't completed yet, right? So currently what we're getting here, look at here, if I press OK, we're getting an action column, we're getting an ID column, then we're getting this column which is title is add your column, then created and updated add. Now where these columns are coming from, we didn't declare those columns. These columns are coming from our service class that we created for our slider. By I mean it is coming, I mean this all of those columns are coming from this slider datatable.php. From here, if I go to bottom, look at here, in here we have this get columns method. Inside of it we have some pre-declared columns like action column. First is the action column, that's why we're getting an action column here, right? Then we have this column make ID, so that basically represent to this column. Similar way we have some more columns, right? So here we have updated at, created at, and add your column. I'll remove this 3. I need the ID column, so I'll leave it. I also need a action column, so I'll cut this portion and paste it after the ID because I want to add this action column at the end of my column list. If I go here now, refresh this page, look at here, now I have only one column. First is ID and second is the action column, right? Perfect. Now here we'll be showing some datas, right? I mean some more columns. If I go to database manager and open the slider, from here if I go to table, look at here, we have this all columns into my our table, which is image, offer, title, and etc., right? So what I'm thinking is in our this table, data table, we will show the ID, the image of our slider, then we will show the title of the slider. That will be enough for our index page. Okay, so there will be in total 4 columns into our data table. So how to add the columns? Let's go here inside this get columns method. Here we have the action column. After that I'll create a new column. I'll just copy the previous one, paste it here. You have to define the column name here, that's all, and the column name have to be your database column name. You just cannot add anything here, otherwise it will give you a error because the column doesn't exist. Look at here, it is showing that table exception message, cannot find the column, right? There isn't any kind of column. So here if you want to create a new column from the database, you have to provide the database column name here. So let's say I will add here image, refresh this page and look at here, a image column has been appeared and we can see the image paths here, right? That's it. Okay, so similar way we can add another column which will be the title column. So we have a title column, if you remember, right? We have a title column into our this slider table, so we'll be using the same name here, title, like that. Refresh this page and look at here, our title is appearing here, right? How easy it is. We are not running any kind of loop, we are not adding any kind of condition, or we are not adding any kind of queries for fetch our data. All is handled by a single class, single data table class, and we can easily control our this data table columns and everything. Now you can ask, in this portion, as I said, we'll be showing the image. So why it is showing only the link of the image, not it is not showing the image? Because these are coming from directly database, and this also database columns. For showing the HTML content like image tag is a HTML tag, right? So for render the image tag in the data table, we have to create a custom column. By default, now we are using the default column from the database. We have to provide the database column names, but in case of rendering or calculating stuff, in that case we have to create some new and custom columns, right? And we'll be overwriting our default column. So that's mean instead of fetching the, or you can say instead of showing direct value from the database, is when we'll be using the custom column, we can modify our actual value and do whatever we want. Like we can put here image, and also you can put here buttons and all. We can add anything we want when we will be using the custom columns. We'll be seeing it, don't need to worry. And if you already watched my fundamental videos on the Yajrabox package, I guess you already know what I'm talking about, right? So I guess that will be for our index page. We'll be working on it, no need to worry. We'll be showing the images here. Before that, I want to complete my create feature and as well as edit and delete feature. After that, we'll be again coming to this index page and we'll be putting all the necessary data as we want. Like here we'll be showing the images, then also in the action column we have to show the buttons, our action buttons, you know, edit button and delete button, right? Currently it is just showing a text here, right? We have to render HTML buttons here, so we'll be seeing it in our future videos, no need to worry about that. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and in the next video we'll be working with our create feature. So see you at the next one. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be working with create feature. This means we'll be making this create new button dynamic. Basically when we'll be clicking on this button, it will take us to the create page, and from there we'll be able to create a slider for our site. So let's start our work. Let's go to code editor, and I'm currently already open the index.blade.php. Look at here, it is inside admin slider index.blade.php, right? Look at here we have our anchor tag, which is our create button, create new button basically. So here we'll be adding our create route. Let's add the route function here, and our create route will be admin.slider.create, right? Basic stuff, because we are using the resource route. Okay, now if I go to my front end, refresh this page, and if I click on create new, look at here, it just took me to the create route, admin/slider/create. Now what we have to do when we'll be clicking on the create new, or you can say when we'll be viewing this route, it will return us the create page. Yeah, let's go here, and inside this slider I'll create a new file which will be create.blade.php. okay, it will be holding our create form, right? So first of all, what we have to do, as usual, we have to extend our master blade, right? So as we are working with admin, so let's add here a_template init. Sorry, just go away. This one, look at here, it just extending the master blade, and we have the section. Inside the section we have to put our contents, HTML contents, obviously. I can copy the structure from the index.blade.php. Just copy it, and look at here, we have some HTML section going on here. Just copy the section path, close this page, paste it here. Now we don't need the Datatable portion, so I'll just remove this portion from here, and also we don't need this header action, which is basically holding our create button. I'll just remove this portion as well. I guess that will do the job. Okay, so now we can return our view, return this create blade from our controller side. So let's open the slider controller. Look at here. Okay, so here, as you can see, it is the method. So when we are hitting this route, admin/slider/create, it will automatically hit this method for control the HTTP request. What we'll be doing from here, we'll be returning our view, return view, and it will be admin.slider create. In this line also you can type in it, we are returning the view, so make sure you import this class, illuminate contracts view. Click on it, it will import it at the top. Here it is. Fine. Now let's go here, refresh this page. Look at here, we're getting our design. Perfect. We can change this header title. It will be let me see, let's go to create blade. It will be update slider, something like that. Update slider. Fine. Now inside the card body we need some fields, right? All the fields that is available into our table: image, offer, title, subtitle, all of those. Let's go back. I will take a form tag. Perfect. Now we need some fields. We need some input fields. So what I'll do is I'll open my HTML template of the admin. Let me see. Here's the template, and I'll open any of the file. Okay, I'm inside my HTML template. Let's go to Bootstrap. Let me see. We have forms here. No, we don't have here it. Let's open the components. No, not here. Okay, we have a dedicated section for the forms. Let's open the forms, click on advanced form, and look at here. We have some inputs going on here. We need a text input, so this is a default input. I'll just inspect this one, select the entire div, copy it, outer HTML. Let's go to our code editor, just paste it here. A simple input, text input. Let's go to our front end here, refresh, and look at here. We have a text input right now. Great. Now what I can do is, as we'll be using this input field several times, we can create a snippets out of it. Just select this code, this div that we want to make a snippet, hold Ctrl Shift P and search for easy snippet create from selection. Click on it, give your snippet name, and snippet will be created for you. Let's say I will call it iText. Okay, so that's mean input text. You can add anything you like that you can remember actually. Press enter. Okay, so here as you can see, it is giving us a preview. So we have some spacing here, so I'll be removing those like that. And now let's press Ctrl+S for save the snippet. Close this up. If we want a input field, we can now just say iText, press enter, and voila, we have our input field. Great. Let's remove this text, and we will add here. First is basically image, and basically for the image we don't need a text input, so I'll replace it to the offer. Right, if I go to database manager and look at here, we have an offer column, right? So for storing the value for the offer column, we need an input field, so I just created one. Let's go to front end, refresh this page, look at here, this is the field. Now first field will be our image field, because our first column is basically image. Now this, it's not like we have to maintain the order, but it is fine. First of all, we will show a image input, then we will show the offer portion, I mean offer input, then rest of the things. Let's go to code editor, and what I'll do, I need the image input, and for that we'll be using the custom input that we use in our profile section, if you recall. Okay, so for that custom input, I already created a snippet back then, if you recall, and I name it this one, imgp. Look at here, this is the custom input, so we can use that imgp snippet for create the input for us. imgp, this one, press enter, look at it here, it just created a image input for us. Let's go here, refresh this page, look at here, we have a image input. I guess I'll be giving a title, but I guess it's okay. Nah, let's give it a title actually. Let's put here, just copy a label, paste it here, and we will call it image, like that. Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, so it's looking decent. So as we change, I mean we added some stuff into our this input, a label, we added this label. So what I will do, I'll just copy this label portion, because I want whenever we'll be using the imgp snippet for generating a snippet for us, I need the label as well, but currently we don't have any kind of label for the snippet code. I'll just open this one and I'll edit this one. After the form group, I'll be putting this one, I mean the label right here, and just click on save for saving the snippet. Now we can just for checking purpose we can just remove this one, and if I say I am GP, press enter, look at here, we have a, we just added a input, image input with a label. If I go here, refresh this page, everything is perfect. Okay, now let's generate our, let's create our rest of the inputs. We added an offer input, we need a title input also. So what I'll do is I will create another text input. So let's add I text, press enter, it created an input. Let's go here, replace this one with title, like that. Sorry, not like that, actually. Title. Now we can just copy it, or if you want to use the snippet you can do it also. I can just copy and paste and make some more inputs basically. So title, after that we need the subtitle, so subtitle. Then we need a text area actually for storing our description, short description by so I will add here short description, and I'll remove this portion and let's add a text area like that. We'll be assigning the name later on, don't need to worry. I can just remove these portions from here. Let me check how it looks, refresh this page. Okay, so it is looking like that. So obviously we need a class name here, so let's add a class name. It will be from control, refresh this page, and here we have a description input as well. So after the description input, what we have a short description, button link. So I'll just copy, we don't need to copy that one, we can add here button link like that. And the last one will be the status. So for status we need a drop down actually, so I will just copy this one, paste it again, and label will be there. It will be a select input, so let's add here select, and obviously don't forget to add the class from control, and we need some options here. Options, first one will be yes, right, and the value will be 1 basically, as we know that in our status column we can only store single value. It have to be a boolean value, either 0 or 1, right? So just copy this one, paste it here, and next one will be no, which will be 0. And I guess we are good to go. Refresh this page and look at here, everything seems fine. We have a drop input here, and we created all the necessary inputs we want, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. As you know that in our database we have 7 columns. Nice. The last thing what I'll do, I will add a submit button here. So let's go here and let's create a button. Type of the button will be submit, like that. Then what we'll do, I will just add the create here, like that. Let's add a class here, btn primary. Let's go, not here actually, refresh this page. We have a button right now and everything seems fine. And about the title, it will not update title as we're working with the create, so it will be create slider, like that. So that's it, everything seems fine now. So that's it for this video. Our form inputs has been created, our design is completed. In the next video we'll be learning about how to handle this form. So till then, bye. Okay, so now we'll be handling our create form. In previously we completed our design, we created all of our necessary fields for our create form. Now time to make it dynamic. Let's go to our code editor, and I already opened the create.blade.php inside the slider, and here we have all of the fields. Now first of all, we have to declare name for each inputs, right? Okay, so the first one is the image, so we already have a name for the image, fine. Then we have offer, so for that one I will add a name which will be also offer, like that. Then we have the title input, so let's add a name, title. Then we have the subtitle. Let's add name, which will be subtitle. I'm trying to maintain the naming of the inputs. Basically, I'm using the exact same name as I put it into my database. Look at here. For the image field, I named the field image. I mean, it was already there anyways. For the next one, for the offer, look at here, our column name is offer, so I put it the name offer. So I'm maintaining this on my naming. Okay, it will be a little bit helpful when we'll be storing the data at our database side. Anyways, let's move on to our next one, which is short description. Short description. After that, what we have button link. So this one will be button underscore link, like that. And the last one, which will be basically our status. Yeah, we didn't change the title, it will be status, like that. And the name will be status as well. Yeah, we're good to go, I guess. Right, let's go to Frontend, give it a refresh. Everything seems fine. Now let's add our route. Let's go to top. Where is our form? Here is our form. In the action, what we'll be doing is we'll be putting our store route admin dot slider dot store. Okay, so we are using the store route from the resource route. That will do the job, and the method have to be post method. And if you have any kind of confusion about the route and methods, you can just press Ctrl plus Shift P and run search for artisan route list, like that. Just click on it, it will give you the route list of your application. From there you can check out your route name, route URL, methods, etc. If I search for slider, look at here, here is my all of the slider resource routes. Here currently we're using this one, admin slider store, which will help us for store the data. And you can also see that which method it will call when we'll be hitting this route. Store method inside the slider controller. Then look at the method section. Here, from here you can know that which method is this route is expecting. Okay, so let's close this up. Right, so we added the post method here, which is post. Obviously, as we're using the post method, obviously we have to add here CSRF token, otherwise our form will not work. And as well, we are working with the image, it's kind of obvious, we have to put here n type multi-part form data, otherwise our file will not upload it. So everything seems fine. Now I can go to controller. Let's move the controller tab here. Fine. Here is our store method, right? In the store method, for now, what I'll do, I will just show my data, that what kind of data I am getting from our form, right? After hitting the method. Let's go here, refresh this page, put some contents here with the fake filler. So I added some dummy contents. Let's select the image. Let's click on create. Look at here, in the diagram result, we're getting all of our data. Great. Now we can validate this data and insert it into our database. So let's do it then. Let's go to our code editor, and what I'll do is, first of all, we have to validate our data, right? So I'll be creating a request class. Let's go here, PHP artisan make request, and we'll create the request inside the admin folder, and let's say our name of the request will be slider create request. Press enter. Okay, so our request has been created. We can open the request class. In the authorize, we'll be putting here true, and in the rules we'll be putting our validation rules, right? Let's close this up. Okay, so first of all, what we'll be doing is we'll be validating the image. So image will be required and it have to be an image. So image, the max length of the image will be, let's say, 3 MB. So let's add here 3000. Okay, the next one, what was the next one? Let me see. The next one is offer. Actually, you can also check out your database offer, right? So let me see here. Offer, and this one will be not required. Basically, in this offer section, or you can say offer field, will be storing this portion, I mean data of this portion, right? If any product have I mean if the admin want to show a product in offer in this slider, he will be adding some value in the offer. Otherwise this particular design will be hidden. So I guess it will be not required, but we'll be adding here a nullable like that. It can be nullable. And next thing what we have to do is it have to be string if it have any kind of data. Now one thing about it, our this overfill isn't nullable by default. I mean in our database, in the migration we didn't define this field nullable, so this time we'll be doing it. Let's search for our slider migration slider. Let's put an underscore, not here actually. Let's search it from our explorer, database migrations, and here is the slider migration. Now what we have to do here is let me see, here we have the offer, right? So in the offer I'll make it nullable, same like that. Let me see, do we need any kind of make more changes, because as we make some changes into the migration, so we have to remigrate this file again, right? Instead of doing it multiple times, let me check it out. Do we need any kind of more changes into our this migration? For status, we can add a default value for the status. Default will be 1, like that. For the button link, yeah, for button link can be also nullable, because if the admin doesn't want to show this button, he will leave the button empty. That will do the job. Okay, but I can I guess the title, subtitle, and short description will be required, because otherwise our this design will not look that great, right? Okay, so that will be our updated version of the migration file. Now we have to remigrate our table. For that, what I'll do is, let's open our terminal and I'll run php artisan migrate colon fresh, press enter. Okay, so I made a typo here. It will be fresh, press enter, and look at here, all of our data has been dropped and remigrated, right? Nice. Now what we have to do, we have to run our seeder command. Remember, in our database seeder we register our user seeder and as well as the factory seeder, slider factory seeder there. If I again show you, if I collapse this one, database migration, not migration, in the seeder we have this database seeder. Look at here, in the run method we added two seeders. Basically, first is basically a seeder and second is a factory seeder, right? So this will be really helpful right now, as our database has been dropped now and remigrated. That means all of our previous data has been deleted along the side, right? So now we have to run the seeders, because all of our table, if I go here, look, open my database table. If I go to users table, go to data, look at here, I don't have any kind of data. All of these tables are empty right now. So for fix that one, I can add php artisan db colon seed, press enter, and look at here, our data has been seeded. Okay, though it is not showing any kind of info about the factory. Okay, let me check it out then. Let's go to our database manager, go to users, look at here in the users table, we have our default users, which is admin and user. If I go to slider, look at here in the slider, we have now 3 slider datas. So everything is perfect now. Let's go to our front end part. Let's go back, refresh this page. So we are redirect to user dashboard. I will log out from here. And now relogging to my admin panel. Let's go here. Let's put my admin@gmail.com. Let's add the password. Okay, so I added the wrong password. I guess it will be passwords. Okay, so look at here. I am logged into my dashboard. And make sure you provide the right password. As we remigrated our data, that's mean we reseeded our data. That's mean our all the password has been replaced that we previously updated. Now our default password will be password, because in the seeder, if I open the user seeder, look at here. In the seeder, we added a default password, which is basically password. So this will be our password for logging into our admin panel as well as for our user. Let's go to slider. Look at here in the inbox. Index. We are getting this 3 datas. Fine. Let's click on the create new. Everything seems fine now. Okay, so we was working with our validation part. So let's move on to it again. Here is the request file. So offer will be nullable. Offer can be nullable. After that, what we have? Let's go here. Let's go to table tab. We have the title. I can copy this one, paste it here, and title will be required. So required. We'll be adding a max length, and max length will be 255 for the title. Similar way, we'll be adding a max length for the offer also. Let's say the max length of this field will be 50 characters. Always add a max length because we are using a string data type, or you can say virtual data type for these inputs, right? So if the user add larger than 255 characters string in these inputs, it will cause some issues. So always add limitation in your string data type fields. Got it? So this will do the job. Let's add the next one, which will be subtitle. Copy this one, paste it here, make it required, add a max length 255, which is the max for the voucher. Next one, the short description. And now for the short description, actually we can add a required as well. And I guess the short description was also a string data type. Let me check it out. Yes, it was also a string data type. So what I'll do here is I'll be adding a max length here as well, max 255. Now what I'll do here is we have next one, which is button link. Button link will not be required, so we can make it nullable. And also we have to add a max length here, which will be 255 characters. After that, we have the status, which will be a boolean. Status boolean, and our validation is completed. So this will be our validation. Now we have to implement this rule, or you can say this class, into our method. So here is our store method that we'll be using for store our data. Instead of this default request class, we'll be using our request class, which is slider create request, and we are done. If I go to my front end now, refresh this page, and if I try to submit this form empty, let's see what happened. We redirect back and look at here, we're getting the validation errors, right? The errors are, the toaster, as you know that this toaster are basically dynamic. We already made our validation error toasters dynamic, so no matter which page we are, if we have any kind of validation error, it will show at the toaster. We already implemented this logic previously. Perfect. So our validation is done, our form is done. Now we have to work with the storing part only. So we'll be covering it in our next video. That's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the next one. Bye. Okay, so now we'll be handling our storing part. So previously we completed our request. I mean, we added our necessary rules into our this slider create request, and our validation is working perfectly now. Now the next thing what we have to do is, as our request data has been validated, we have to store them into our database. So let's do it then. First of all, what we have to do, we have to handle our image. Actually, at the first input, you know that we have an image field, right? We have to handle the image and we have to store it into the storage, right? And all of this stuff we'll be doing with with the help of our trait method that we created previously. Remember, we created a trait inside of our app folder, which is file upload trait. So in our this class slider controller, we'll be importing the trait. So let's add file upload trait. Look at here, VS Code is giving us hint. Press enter, it will import the class at the top here, right? Now we can use all the methods inside of this file upload trait. Let's go here. Basically in there we have only one method, so you don't have to think about it. Let's go here. I will first of all add a command, handle image upload, something like that. Let's create a variable image path, because the method that we'll be using will return as the path of the image after uploading it into the storage, as you know. I will add here this, then upload image method. Just call the upload image method, and as you know what kind of parameter we have to pass inside of it. First will be the request instance, second will be the name of our input, or you can say input name. So our image input name was, let me see, if I go to create blade, our image input name is image, just image. So we can add here image like that, just end this line, and we are good to go. Now the next thing what we have to do, we have to create a instance of our model. So let's add slider. Let's create a variable new slider. Okay, we created a new instance of our model. Now we can access all of our attributes. Slider, let's access the offer. We have an offer attribute, as you know. We'll get it from our request offer, like that. And also, yeah, we have to store our image path as well. So let's put it here. It will be image, our path name, attribute name, and the value will be image path, this one right here. Let's put slider again. The next thing that we have is title. Actually, copy this one, paste it here, request offer, and we're getting the value of the title from the request, and we're storing it into our this attribute. Fine. Slider, after this one we have the subtitle, put it here, request subtitle, like that. Let's again add the slider instance. We have to store the short description. Let's put the short description here, request short description, like that. Then we have the button, slider button link, request button link. The last one will be the status, and we will access the request status. That's all we have to do here. Then what we have to do is, let's add slider save, and we'll be saving all of these datas. After that we can show some sort of alert. So let's use toaster for that. Toaster success, and what we'll be doing is we'll be showing a message. Let's say created successfully, and that will do the job. After that, what we will do, we will just return redirect back, or what we can do, instead of redirect back, I'll just remove this one. We'll use the helper function, which is to route, and we will redirect the user to index page. So let's add here admin dot slider dot index, like that, in this line, and that will do the job. Now the moment of truth, we have to check it out that everything is working or not. Let's go here, refresh this page. Let's select the image. I'll be selecting an image from my gallery. I'll select this one. After that, we can add some sort of content here as you want. Let's say if, in offer I want to add 50%, which will show in this position actually. So we'll be showing it at our front end later on. We have lots of work to do more. The title, we can add any kind of title we want. Actually, I'll be using the fake filler. It will take some time otherwise. Okay, so I added some fake data here, some random data here. Let's click on create. Let's see what happened. And look at here, we're getting this success message and our data has been created. That's mean, look at the path. This is our data. It is showing at it is all the data is showing order by ascending. That's why our lastly created data is at the end. Got it? So we'll be ordering it by descending, but we'll be doing it later on. For now, our data is showing here. We just created a new data. If I create another one for make sure it's right, if I select another image from here, let's set this one. Now I will again add some dummy content here. In the title, I will add a custom title. Let's say this is a title, something like that, to understand that we actually created a data. Status can be yes. Let's click on create, and look at here, we're getting a success message, and here we have our item. Look at here, here is our title, which is this is a title, and that's mean our data has been created successfully. And actually this table data is not ordering in ascending. I guess it is ordering by anything else. Anyways, we'll be fixing it, no need to worry about that. So our create feature is successfully completed. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll be working with our edit feature. We have to add here our action buttons. Then also we have to work with our edit page as well. So I'll be seeing you at the next one. Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be working with our slider update feature. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to add some buttons into this action column. As you can see, currently we are just showing this string in the action column. So we need two buttons basically. One will be the edit button, and also we'll be adding delete button as well. So for that, as these fields are coming from our data table, so what we have to do is we have to open our data table class. So let's go to our app folder, Datatables folder. Here we have our slider data table. Okay, so in the get columns method, look at here, we have a computed column, which is action column, which is this one, right? And this column is basically coming from at the top. If I go to top, here you will find this Datatable method. Inside of it, it is returning basically this instance. And look at here, we have a add column. This is the column name, and this is the value of the column. So this is a custom column, which is the action column. Previously, as you saw, that we added some column in the get columns method, which are basically coming from our database like id, image, title. Those all are basically database column that we are showing here. We're showing the database values here directly in the data table, right? Those are not custom column, but in case of the action column, in our database there isn't any kind of action name column, right? This is a custom column, so that's mean we can modify this one as we want. So currently we are getting a string here. Instead of this one, we'll be showing buttons, and we have to do everything inside of our this class only. Okay, look at here. Here we have our column name, and this is the value that this column have. So that's why we are getting this slider dot action in every row, because it is basically showing this string. So we don't need this string, we'll be just removing it, and I will take a callback function here. Okay, look at here, we have a query here. Basically this is the instance of our model. If I scroll a bit, look at here, we have this query model here, I mean method here basically, and it is basically returning this query builder, which is basically returning an instance of our model like that, right? So via this query instance we can access our tables datas, right? Okay, so in here let's finish the callback function, and inside of this callback function I'll be taking this instance query, right? And as I said, as we are working with our slider model, that's mean via this query instance we can access anything in our slider model. Okay, this is basically the instance of our slider model. Okay, so from here what I'll do is I'll be returning HTML buttons. Got it? As we are inside a PHP file, I mean solid PHP file, we cannot just write the HTML here. We have to put the HTMLs inside a string, then we have to return it from here. Got it? So as I said, in our this action column there will be two buttons. One will be the edit button and second will be the delete button. So let's create those two. What I'll do, I'll take a variable. First of all, one will be edit is equals to, and let's put here some HTML code. Let's add button. Let's end it here. Okay, we'll be not using a button. Actually we need an anchor tag, because when we'll be clicking on that button it will take us to the another page, right? So let's add anchor tag. Let's add href. Here we'll be putting our dynamic route a little bit later. Let's add class here. It will be btn primary, and let's add here edit for now. Let's end this line. Okay, now similar way I need another button which will be delete button, so I'll copy it and paste it here. Let's change the variable name and also the color of the button. It will be danger, something like that. Let's make it delete for now. Okay, now as I said, we have to return our these strings, or you can say our values. So we need the edit and delete both of the buttons. So what I'll do here, I will return edit like that, and I'll concat the delete as well. So it will become a same string. Let me show you now. If I go here, refresh this page, look at here, our buttons are now visible, right? So that's how you can render HTML content into your data table from your service class. You have to put your HTML stuff into a string and you have to return it from there. Okay, so now we need dynamic links here. Basically these are basically empty anchor text currently, but before that I'll be using some icons here. I'll be not using text because text will take a little bit more spacing than an icon. Let's go to Font Awesome website, fontawesome.com. Let's go to search, and from here make sure you select your version, and our version is basically 5.15, so select this one. Okay, now let's search for edit, so it will give us an icon for the edit. So here as you can see we have edit icons. I can grab this one, just copy the icon. Let's go to our code editor and here is our edit button, right? So instead of this text, we'll be using this icon. As we are using this double quotation in front of our string, so we cannot put this double quotation inside of this string. We have to make them single quotation like that. Okay, look at here, the row is gone. Now if I go to front end again, refresh this page, yeah, now it is looking decent. Now let's do the same for our delete button as well. So let's close this up. Let's search for delete. You can also search for trash, it will be doing the same. I guess I'll be adding here trash. Okay, so we have a trash icon. Copy this one, let's go back. Instead of delete, we'll be putting it here, and as I said, we have to replace this double quotation with the single quotation, and we're good to go. Let's go to our front end, refresh this page, and look at here, icons are showing. Now what I want to do is I want to make this action column width a little bit more bigger, because look at here, these two buttons should be in horizontal position. So you can add your column width as well here. If I scroll a bit, go to the get columns method where we specified all of our column, and here as you can see, this is our custom column that we created at the top. Basically here, look at here, this is our custom column, which is action, right? And when we will add a new column, new custom column, actually we have to register that column name inside our get columns as well, remember that. So that's why it is already added here. So that's the reason why we don't have to register it again. But in case of if we create any other custom column by ourselves, we have to register the column here also, otherwise we will be not able to see that at our front end. Okay, so as I said, we can fix a width for our column as well. So for the action column, look at here, they change this method width, which is currently 60, this means 60 pixel. I'll be making it, I guess, 150 pixel, because we have lots of spacing here, so you can use them. Refresh this page. Okay, so look at here, we're getting our buttons. Now what I want to do is I want to give little bit of spacing between these two buttons. So let's go to top, and I guess I'll be giving a class for the delete button. ML, I guess 2 will do the job. Margin left 2. Yeah, perfect. It is looking great. Fine. Our HTML portion is perfectly done. Now what we have to do is we have to add dynamic links on this button. As we will be working with update button, so we'll be specifically focusing on this edit button actually. Then when we will be working with the delete button, we'll be doing it with the delete button as well. For now, let's add a custom, our route into our this buttons, dynamic routes. By let's go to top. Here we have our Datatable method, right? And here is our edit string, or you can see edit button. And in the href, what we have to do, we have to put our route, right? Because each route will contain their edit routes, right? Dynamic edit routes. So for that, what we have to do is, as we are using double quotation for wrapping our this entire string, so we have to break this string. Let's add here double quotation inside of this href single quotation, and what I'll do here, I will concate route function. As we are inside a PHP, I hope you understand what we are doing here. We are just breaking this string and concatenating new PHP stuff inside of this string. So what we'll do here, we are adding here route, then inside of it we will be adding our dynamic route, which will be admin dot slider dot edit, because we'll be working with the edit. And as you know that edit route needs a parameter, the dynamic row ID, right? Each hour this data have a row ID, right? Unique row ID, or you can say primary key. We have to pass the primary key into our route. By that we'll be selecting the data from the database, and we can update the data, or you can say we can update the row. So you have to pass the row ID, the dynamic row ID here, just add a comma. Then as I said, that's why we injected this query inside our callback, because as I said, this is the instance of our model, I mean the slider model. So from this, as we have the instance of the slider model, from here we can grab the ID, so it will give us the dynamic ID of the slider, right? So now let me see, let's go here, refresh this page, and if I inspect this one, the first button, look at the route in the href. Now we have a edit route, which is our dynamic route. Look at here, we have slider /1/edit, because the first row's ID is 1, that's why this portion, basically this segment of our route, is dynamic. If I select second one, let's click on here, look at here, for the second item the ID is 2, right? So now all of these buttons have dynamic routes in them. If I click here, it will take me to the edit page, and as our route have the dynamic segment, which is basically carrying our row ID, depending on the ID we can just grab the data from the database and update it. Got it? So pretty easy. I hope you understand. That's it for this video. We just added our action buttons into our table. In the next video we'll be working with our update form. So see you at the next one. Okay, now let's work with our update form now. Now in previously we added the dynamic routes into our this edit buttons, right? So whenever now we are clicking on a button, it is taking us to the edit route, right? So here we have to return our edit view first, then we will be handling the logical part. So let's go to code editor and let's go to our controller. Before that we have to create a view, right? Before returning we have to create a view. So let's go to view, admin, then we have a slider folder. Inside the slider folder we'll create a new file which will be edit.blade.php, right? And as you know that our edit form and the create form will be exactly same. So what I'll do is I'll copy everything from the edit blade and create blade and put it inside of the edit blade, right? Now what we can do, we can just return the view. Let's go to slider controller. Actually, if I scroll a bit, here we have the edit method. So whenever we'll be hitting the edit route, it will hit this edit method. If I show you the route list for clearance, let me see, let's search for slider. Here as you can see, currently we're using this route, right? Admin slider.edit. If I go to my front end, look at here, we are at the edit route, right? And if you noticed here, whenever we'll be hitting this route, or you can see this URL, in that case it will hit this method for control that request, which is edit, and it is inside slider controller, right? So what we have to do here, this is the edit method, and from here we'll be returning our view. Return view admin dot slider edit, right? And we can also type in view, I guess this one. If you don't add this one, it will be also fine. So as we are using Laravel 10, and Laravel 10 by default support type hint, so we are trying to follow that approach. Okay, fine. Now what we will be doing is, let's go to our front end. Now if I refresh this page, you'll be seeing we're getting our view, right? Now we have to make some changes into our view file. That means we have to load our selected datas in these fields. Then also you have to change this title and button name as well. So let's do it. Let's open the edit blade. First of all, we'll be changing the title here. It is create slider. We'll be making it update slider, something like that. Then we have our this inputs. So in this inputs we have to add dynamic values, because we are trying to edit a row, right? So whenever we'll come into our update page, or you can say edit page, all the current data will be shown for that row inside this inputs. Let me go to the controller again. First of all, what we have to do, we have to fetch the data depending on the ID from the database. So I will add a variable here. Let's say slider is equals to slider color model. Then let's add here find or fail. Okay, so why we're using this find or fail method? Because if the ID that we're getting from our database, not database, from our route doesn't exist into our database, in that case what will happen is the user will redirect to 404 page. Okay, if the ID exists, in that case it will give us the row from the database, single row actually. Okay, so now what I'll do here is I'll be passing this variable as our front end. So let's use the compact method for that, and let's add our name of the variable. Don't add the $sign in before the name. You just have to put the name of the variable that you want to pass at the view inside the compact. Got it? And the variable will be automatically available into your plate file. Okay, so let's do it then. First of all, what we have the image. So we'll be handling the image later on, a little bit later. First of all, let's add the default values for the rest of the inputs, not the default actually, dynamic values. Okay, first is offer. So let's add a value attribute here, and here what I'll do here, let's add here curly braces, as we can now access the slider variable. From the slider we'll be accessing the offer, like that. Now if I go here, refresh this page, look at here in the offer, I'm getting our value, right? This value is basically current value of the row that we are trying to edit. Look at here in the route we have this ID, which is basically row ID. It is 1. This means this data is coming from number 1 row from the slider table. I hope you understand. Now let's move on to the next one. Let's add the value attribute here again, and slider, and this time we will access the title. So similar way, I will just copy this value attribute, put it in rest of the inputs. We have the subtitle, so this time it will be subtitle, like that. Then we have the short description, as we're using here a text area. So text area doesn't support any kind of value attribute, so we have to echo the value here in this position, slider. It will be short description, like that. Okay, then we have the button link. Let's add the value. We already copied the value attributes. We'll be just changing the name of the attribute, slider button link, like that. And if you recall that our input field name, or you can say input name, and the database column names are same, so it is easily recognizable that which field will have which attribute. So I'm just following the name of the attribute because I know, name of the input field, because I know that the name of the input field and attribute of my database tables are same. So that's why, look at here, this one and this one is exactly same. Okay, the next one is status. For the status, what we have to do is, as we cannot add any kind of value attribute in the select, we have to work with the options. Look at here in the option, we have two static option, basically yes or no, depending on our database current state, status value. We have to select the option, and for that what we can do, we can select these two options, and I will add here curly braces. Then let's add our slider. From the slider we'll be accessing the status column, right? If the status column value is equals to 1, in that case we'll be making it selected. We'll be making the status selected, otherwise we'll be making it empty. Now for yes, the value will be 1, it's fine. for if the status value is 0, we have to put here 0 0. If the status the slider status is 0, in that case we'll be selecting this option, which value is no. I guess that's it. We have a button here, so make it update. Let's go here, refresh this page, and look here, we're loading all of our data from the row that we're trying to edit. Look at the status. Yes is by default selected because the status for this slider is active, right? Actually, in this status we added yes and no. It can be cause some confusion that what we are trying to say here. I guess I'll be changing it to active and inactive, like that, so it will be more better self-explanatory that status is active or inactive. If the status is inactive, that's mean this slider will be not show at the front end, so something like that. Okay, if I go here, look at here, for now we are using ternary operator for defining, adding this select attribute in our option, but Laravel have another way to do this same stuff. It have a blade directive, which is, if I'm not wrong, selected, not select, actually aggregate selected, and inside of it you have to provide your condition. Look at here, previously we added condition like that. If the status is 0, in that case this will be selected. If it's 1, this will be selected. So we have to put the condition inside of this directive, like that. So as we are working with active, let's put here 1, and I'll be removing this portion, entire portion. I'll be using the selected directive here also and make it 0. Now our code is little bit more organized, right? Let's go now, refresh this page. It will be doing the same. Look at here, active is pre-selected right now. So yeah, instead of using ternary operator, you can also use this helper directives by Laravel. It will be more handy than normal ternary operators. Fine, so all of our inputs are now filled with datas. Only left is our image field. So for that one, what we have to do is, we already did same stuff in another section, if I recall. I guess it was in the profile section. Open the profile folder. Here we have this index.blade.php. If I scroll a bit at the end, look at here, we have a script tag, and what we are doing here, we are by default putting a image, a CSS into this image preview class, which is basically the class for our image input. So we'll be doing the same again. Just copy this entire thing. Let's go back to our edit blade.php and paste it here, like that. Okay, so previously in the assets we added this auth user avatar. This time we have to remove this one, and we have to call the slider. From the slider we'll access the image of the slider. Got it? And rest of the thing will be same. Let me see how it looks. If I go here, refresh this page, it is still not visible because this item that we are trying to update or edit doesn't have any kind of image, so that's why it is empty. Let's go back, and I guess this one have an image because we uploaded. Look at here, we have a PNG extension here as well. Let's click on the edit, and look at here, we can see the image. All of our data has been loaded. Perfect. So I guess that's it for this video. In the next video we'll be handling the submission, and also we have to, I guess, change some stuff into our image upload logic in the trait, because currently when we are uploading an image, it upload the image into the storage, right? Everything seems working fine, but there is a catch. Basically, when we are uploading the image, it's perfectly working, but when we are updating image, it is uploading the image again in the file storage, but it is not deleting the previous image, right? So if we don't do that action, the unnecessary images will be always been there into our storage that we want. I mean, we don't want actually. If we update an image, so that's mean the previous image is unnecessary. We'll be not using that one. So in case of update, we'll be deleting the previous image, then we will be uploading our new image and grab the link of the image and store it into the database. So we'll be talking about it in our next video. Don't need to worry about it. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the next one. Okay, so in this video we'll be handling our this update slider form. So let's go to code editor and let me close this up. So you was working with the edit blade, right? Now first of all, we have to handle the submission. This means when we will be clicking on this update button, it will submit our form, and our form will submit into a specific route, right? We have to provide our route. So here is the form action. So currently it have admin slider.store because we copied this entire HTML code from the create blade, right? In the create blade we use this route previously. This time, as we are working with as it is a update form, not a create form, so that's why we'll be using resource update route, which will be admin dot slider dot update, right? And as you know that it basically requires a parameter which will be our row ID. So let's add a comma, then we'll be putting our slider ID. Add slider ID, like that. Now let's go to our slider controller. Here's the slider controller, and look at here, we have a update method here. So when we'll be submitting our form in this route, in this specific route, which is admin slider update, in that case it will hit this method. Got it? So here what I'll do is I will just item the request and call the all method. Let me see that we are hitting this method or not. Let's go here, refresh this page, click on update button. Let's see what happened. Okay, so we are getting an error here. The post method is not supported for this route. This route support get, head, put, patch or delete. Let me see. If I again press Ctrl Shift P and run this artisan route list, you can also search it via artisan route list, like that. Click on route list and let's wait a bit for load the routes. Okay, now if I search for slider, currently we're using this one, admin.slider.update, right? Look at here, it will hit this I mean, we will be hitting this URL, it will hit this, I mean, call this update method inside the slider controller. And look at the method. In the method column you can see the what kind of method this route basically supported. It supported put or patch. So let's close this up. Let's go to our editor.blade.php. After the CSRF token, what I'll do here, I will add a method, and method will be put method. Let's go back. It will fix our this method related issue. Refresh this page, click on update, and look at here, we're getting all of our datas. Perfect. Now what we have to do is we have to validate these datas, then we'll be doing our rest of the work. So first of all, let's add the validation stuff. Let me see, let's go to slider controller, and we'll be using a custom request class instead of using the default one, which will be basically filtering our request. Got it? Okay, so previously we already created a request, but it was for create request, I mean slider create request. Now we'll create another one which will be update one. Let's open the terminal and we'll be running the php artisan make request, and our request name will be slider, not create actually, update request. Press enter. And I made a mistake here. Basically I'll be creating the request inside the admin folder, not outside inside the request folder. Let me fix it up. Let's go to app, then we have, where is the request? It is inside http request, and look at here, it just created a new request outside, I mean inside the request folder. But as we'll be as we are working with the admin side, so I'll be creating the request class inside the admin folder, so we don't need this one, we can just delete it simply. Fine. Now let's run the command again, but this time we'll be adding a path here, which will be admin slash then our name of the class. Press enter. Now it will create the request class inside this admin folder. Look at here. Fine. Now most of the logics will be similar as our slider create request, so we can open the slider create request from here. Look at here, inside the request folder, admin folder, slider request.php, we have our these rules. I'll be copying this entire rules because most of the thing will be the same. Let's go to the slider update request, the request class that we just created, paste everything inside of it like that. Right now here we have to make little bit changes. Let me show you. I guess we need to change only in the image field, because image will be not required because we are updating our data. If we make the image required by default, so what will happen is every time when the admin want to update a slider, he have to select the image, because image field will be required, right? Which is totally unnecessary. So I will just make it nullable for now, like that, and rest of the validation rules will be same. If the image is selected, in that case we'll be checking that is the image is a image, actual image or not, and then we have the max size of the image, and I guess rest of the rules will be fine. We don't have to do anything about them. Perfect. And make sure in the authorize you make it true, otherwise you will get the error where it will give you unauthorized error if you return false from here. I guess the validation is done. Let's go to our slider controller. Here is the controller. Let's go to the edit method, not the edit, actually update. So we'll be replacing this normal request class with our custom request class, which is slider update request, and we're good to go. Fine. If I check it out, if I remove this some stuff from here and click on update, let's see what happened. Yeah, perfect. We're getting our errors, right? So that's mean our validations is working. Now the next thing what we have to do is, as I said before, we have to do some stuff into our trait, image update trait, because now as we are working with the update feature, and for handling the image we're using only one method, right? Inside a trait we created a method which is basically handling our image upload stuff. If I go to the trait labs, open app, traits, file upload traits, look at here, we have a trait here, right, which is working fine. It is uploading our image inside uploads folder and returning us the path of the image that we are storing into the database. But as I said before, that when we will be uploading, updating our data, which have a image, in that case the previously stored image will be deleted from the storage. Okay, after deleting it will upload the new image, because if we just normally update our image will be obviously updated, but previous image, which is now unnecessary, will be stay in our storage that we don't want. We'll be deleting it from there. Okay, so this means we have to make little bit tweak into our this method, right, for deleting our image. Okay, first of all let me go to my slider controller and I'll add a command here. First of all, we'll be handling the image. Okay, handle image upload, or we can say upload will be done. Okay, let's call our method. Before that we have to add our trait. I guess we already did it. Yeah, we already imported our trait into the class. Now if I go here and call our Let's add a variable first, image path. This will be our variable name. Now let's call our method, which will be upload image, right? And you know that upload image takes three arguments. First will be the request instance, so let's put the request instance. Second will be the name of the input, right? So our input name is image, and the third one is the path, which is basically have a default path, and we'll be not changing this one, because as I said, we are uploading all of our, we'll be uploading all of our images inside this upload folder only. Okay, so we don't need to add any kind of new arguments here, but I want to add another argument which will be taking the old path of the image, right? When we'll be selecting a new image, that means we are updating an image. So before updating, what we'll be doing is we'll be removing the previous image, and for remove the previous image, we need the previous image path, right? And we'll be passing the path directly inside our method. Let me go to the file upload trait, and before this normal path parameter, I'll take a new variable here, which will be old path. Let's add here is equals to, and let's make it null by default, like that. Okay, it will be null by default. If we want to pass our path, we can pass it. In that case, depending on the path, it will delete the previous path. If we want, if we don't want to pass it, we can just leave this portion empty, or we can also pass null from our method, from from where we are calling the method actually. Got it? So as we are updating our data, so that's mean we have to pass the old path for delete the data. So I'll be passing the old path here. But how can we get the old path? We have to grab the old path from our row. We have our row ID from the database, route, or you can say URL segment, which is ID. What I'll do here, I will add a slider variable here, and let's call our model, which is slider. We'll add here find or fail. Again, let's put the ID of it. So as you know that it will, if the ID exists into the database, it will just return us the exact row from the slider table, right? So from the slider instance, now we can grab the image path, slider image. So we are accessing the current image path, and we are passing it into our this update image method. So we have our old path now in this position. Got it? Now we can make use of it. Okay, now here inside this if condition, make sure you are inside the if condition, because we have to first of all check if the user actually selected any kind of image or not. So that's why we are, from the request, we're checking the file name. So after that, what I'll do here is I'll be checking this old path, that if the file actually exists into our local storage or not. If it exists, in that case we'll be deleting it, otherwise we'll be not doing anything. Got it? So let's add here a if condition first, and I'll be taking help of a facade, which is file facade. Let's go to top before the trait, and outside of the trait at the top I will add here use file. Okay, we'll be using this file facade. So let's call this file colon exists. Basically this exists method check if a file exists or not in a specific path inside of it. Obviously we have to pass our path, and we will be getting our path from this old path. Got it? And also we can double check it if the old path, and we can put and this means if the old path have any kind of value, and if the file exists into the storage. In that case, what we'll be doing, we'll be deleting the path, deleting the image from the path. And actually make sure you wrap this old path with the public path function, because this path exists into our public folder. If I show you, where is our public folder? public folder. Inside the public folder we have uploads folder, right? Inside the upload folder we have all of our images, right? So first of all we have to give the public folder, public path name, public path actually. So we are using this public path method for that. It will give us the public path, and this in this upload subfolder we have our this image stored, right? Then we are adding our this old path inside of it. Make sure you wrap it with the public path, otherwise it will not work. So if this return is true, in that case what we will do, we will delete the file from our storage. Call the file method, file facade, call the delete method, and we'll be passing this one like that. Got it in this line, and we're good to go. This will handle our deleting image. I can add here a command, delete file, or you can add file if exist. Okay, or actually we can put it after this stuff, before this return path. Okay, let me refactor it like that. So first of all, what we'll be doing, it's kind of same. If you put it at the top, it doesn't matter, actually it will work according to our plan. But in that case, what we are doing, we are first of all storing our image into our storage. Look at here, we're moving the file into our this path, right, according in our path. Then what we'll be doing, we will deleting the old image. After uploading, we're deleting the previous image, and we're returning the new image path directly here. Okay, so it's kind of fine, right? I guess it will work fine. Let me check it out. First of all, let me check the current image. If I select this one, so this is our current image that we are trying to edit. If I go here, look at here, the image is here, right? Let's go to controller. I like to make sure some stuff. Let's go here. We are already calling our this method. Fine. Let's end this line. So I hope you understand what this method will do. In the first argument, we are passing the instance of our request. Then second is our name of the input field. And in the third, what we are doing, in the third, we are passing the old path of the image, or you can say current path of the image, which we are using as our old path here in the third argument. So currently in our database, this image path exists, right? So as we have the path, we'll be deleting this image and uploading a new one. Let's select a new image from here. Let me see. If I add another one, let's say this one, this will be our new image. Let's go here, click on update. Let's see what happened. Okay, look at here, we're getting a blank page because in our controller we did nothing here. We didn't return anything from here. But now time to check that what actually happened. If I check it out, look at here, our previous image is not exist anymore, right? So here we have this much images. So our that image, or you can say previous image, has been deleted and it is replaced with our new image, which is this one, right? If I go here, refresh this page, you'll be seeing that it is still showing here. Give it a hard refresh. Shouldn't be here. Look at here, we are not getting any kind of image anymore, though we uploaded our previous image, which is this one, new image, which is this one. But we cannot see that image because we didn't store the image path into our database from the controller. Look at here, we did nothing. We just uploaded the image for testing that if our logic is working or not. So our logic is now working. Now our this upload image is more modular. This method can handle our upload, and also it can handle our image delete also. Whenever we want to delete our previous image, we can pass this old path, or you can say path of the image that we want to delete here, and it will delete the image and upload the new image. So that's it for this video. Video is gotten really long, but I hope you understand what is going on here. So in the next video, what we'll be doing is we'll be just storing the paths and all of our input data, updated input data, into our database. So that's it for this video. and I'll be seeing you at the next one. Okay, now let's finish the rest of our work. So previously we handled the image, right? It's working fine. Now what we have to do is we have to store the data, updated data into our database. So let's do it then. First of all, what I'll do is let's go to top, and we have our store method here, right? So in the store method, look at here, we have this logic for, we are putting our data into the table attributes, right? So I'll just copy this entire thing. We don't need this slider instance or anything. We just need these portions where we have the attributes and we are assigning the values for them. Just copy this portion and scroll a bit, just put it after this image path variable, like that. We already created a variable called slider, so we don't have to change anything. Look at here, from the slider instance we are accessing the attributes and we are putting the values. So here, as you can see, first is the image, right? For the image we are adding this image path variable, because as you know that when this update method will handle the image, it will return as the path of the image, right? But what if user doesn't select any kind of user didn't select any kind of image? So what will happen in that case? If I open the file upload thread, look at here, here we are checking that if the request has the file. So if the request doesn't have the file, it will return null, and in that case this variable value will be null, because this method is basically returning as null, and we're assigning this null value into our image attribute, which is wrong. It will cause issues because the image is image attributes field doesn't support null value. We have to provide some sort of value there. So this means we cannot directly use this variable. We have to add here a little bit tweak. I'll cut this variable. I'll add here isSet method. It's basically a function from PHP, not method. Inside of it, just put this variable. Okay, I guess not isSet. Actually, we don't have. We have the variable. So instead of using the isSet, we can use empty function, empty, because we have to check that if this variable have any kind of value or not, right? So we can add here a exclamatory mark that if this variable is not empty, right? We added is not sign here. If the variable is not empty, in that case what we will do, we will just put the variable itself. Otherwise what we have to do is we have to remain the existing path. We'll be not doing anything there. We'll be not changing the image path because user didn't select any kind of image. So in that case what we can do is we can add here the slider and access the image. I hope you understand what we are doing here. We are using basically ternary operator for check that if this variable is not empty or not. If this variable is not empty, that means it have our new path, so we'll be setting up the new path in our attribute. Otherwise we'll be just adding the current path, or you can also say it as a old path, which is basically already stored into our image image field in the slider. Okay, so I hope you understand this portion. It is pretty much easy. And in the next stuff, what we are doing, we are accessing our rest of the attributes here like that, and we are assigning the new values from the request. Perfect. We don't have to do anything more here. Now after that, what we have to do, we have to just show some sort of alert that our data has been updated. And the next thing what we have to do, we have to return the user to our index page. And we already did it for the store method. So what I'll do, I'll copy these two lines from here, which is toaster, which will show the toaster message, and second is the return portion, which will return the user to the index page. Let's go here, put it like that. We'll show the toaster, will return the user back, in the index page. This time we are updating our stuff, so it will be updated updated successfully, fine. And also we can add here a type hint, return response, sorry, not return response, actually redirect response, and make sure you import this one, eliminate HTTP, click on it, it will import at the top. If I show you again, if I go to top, look at here we have our class imported. If your VS Code auto completion doesn't working or auto insertion is not working, in that case just put it by your hand, just put here use eliminate HTTP response, redirect response actually. And otherwise, if you want to ignore this portion, type hint portion, also you can do it, it's totally fine. Now the moment of truth, we have to check it out if is our entire logic is working or not. Let's go to our front end. First of all, refresh this page, and what I'll do, I will select an image again because previously we deleted our image. Let me see what we can do. We can select this one again, this image. Let's go here, click on update, and look at here, we are redirect to our index page. We're getting this message, success, our data has been updated. And let me check it out. Let's edit this one. No, previously we edited this one, I guess. Yeah, let's click this one. So here, as you can see our new image that we just uploaded, right? And obviously by the help of our image upload method, now our previous image has been deleted and it replaced with a new image. If I add here a title, hey, it's working. So let's add this title, click on update for make sure that everything is okay. And look at here, the title, we're getting our title. That's mean our logic is working fine, right? So that's it for this video. Our update feature is completed for our slider. So from the next video, we'll be start working with our delete feature. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the next one. Hello everyone. So from this video, we'll start working with our delete feature. So I'm currently at the slider index page, as you can see, and here in the action column we have this edit button, and as well as we have a delete button. Edit button is now totally dynamic. We completed the edit feature. Now we have to work with the delete one, right? So as you know that these buttons are basically rendering from our class, our slider Datatable class, right? So let's go there first. Let me close all of this stuff from here. Okay, let's close this one. Let's go to app, Datatables, slider, datatable.php, and inside this add column method, inside the Datatable method, we have this delete button, edit button, and as well as the delete button, right? And delete button is the anchor tag. We have a href here and some class and other stuff, right? Like same as our edit button, we have to add dynamic routes in this href as well. So let's put here double quotation dot. So we'll be concatenating this route method, or you can say route helper function, in this position route, and the route will be admin dot slider dot destroy. Okay, and it will take a parameter which will be the row ID, and as you know that we can grab our model row ID from this query instance ID. Okay, basically this is our model instance. From there we're just accessing the ID. Fine. Now if I go to my front end, you'll be seeing that our this button now carries dynamic route. If I inspect this one, look at here, this is our delete button. In the href we have a dynamic route, admin slider 1, then let's click on it, admin slider 2. Perfect, right? Now as you know that delete route, I mean resource delete route requires delete method. If I show you, press Ctrl Shift P again, and we'll be running this artisan route list command again. Click on it. Let's wait a bit for reload the routes. Okay, now let's search for slider. As we're working with the slider, find the destroy route. Look at here. Here is the destroy route that we're using. Here is the URL of the route, and look at the method. The method have to be delete. And as you know, as we're working with anchor tag, let's go here. Look at here. Our button is basically anchor tag, and in the anchor tag, in the href, we are adding our route. So whenever we'll be clicking on this button, it will send a get request basically. So it is sending a big get request, and we're getting this blank page, right? So it will not work. It will not work as a delete button. We have to send a delete request, and as well as I want to show some sort of alert before deleting. So whenever the user, or you can say admin user, will click on a delete button, he will able to see a pop-up here that is he actually want to delete the item or not. Or it can be that by mistake admin click on a delete button and it will automatically delete it, right? So that's why we need to confirm the delete, that the user actually want to delete the item or not. So whenever the admin user will click on the button, it will show a pop-up, and if he will click on the confirm button, that's mean admin is confirmed, the item will be deleted from our table. Got it? So for alert, first of all we have to handle the alert, then we'll be going into our logical part. Then we'll be handling our database deletion part. First of all, we'll be adding a new package, jQuery package, which is sweet alert, and we'll be binding the sweet alert into our these buttons, in our delete buttons actually. So whenever anyone will click on the delete button, he will be able to see a pop-up that is he really want to delete the item or not. There will be two buttons, one will be confirm and cancel. If we click on confirm, that means the item will delete from the database table, and everything will happen via Ajax. Okay, so first of all, let's add the plugin into our project. Let's open a tab, and I'll be searching for sweet alert. Just search for sweet alert, and look at here. Here is the official site of sweet alert 2. Just click on it, and I'll be giving you the link. Don't need to worry. Check out the attachment. You'll find the website link. Okay, so here as you can see, we have a documentation website. So first of all, let's check out the installation part. Click on installation. Look at here, they have a CDN approach. Otherwise you can also use npm for install it, but I'll be using the CDN because it will be a little bit more easy for us. Okay, just copy this portion, this script portion. Let's go to our code editor. I'll be closing this one and also close this tab, otherwise we will be seeing this error every time. So I'll be just closing this tab, close this terminal. Now let's open the master.blade.php, master.blade.php of the admin. Make sure you are selecting the right master. As we are working with the admin master, admin side, this means we'll be working with the admin master.blade.php. Inside the admin folder, layout folder, master.blade.php. Fine. Now let's go to top. Here in any position we can add our this new CDN, which is this one. Okay, so I'm putting at the bottom. Actually, let's not put it in the bottom. Let's put somewhere between middle. Just put it here actually. And also here, as you can see, you have this datatable.net, which is also CDN for the datatable. I'll cut it and put it somewhere in middle, because this script.js is our main JavaScript, and it will be our higher authority JavaScript. That means this will be our main JavaScript file that will override all kind of JavaScript, right? And as you know that if you put any kind of script at the bottom, that's mean that gonna get the higher priority. Anyways, so we imported the sweet alert. That's all we have to do for the installation of the sweet alert. And next thing what we'll be saying that how to use it. Got it? Let's click on usage. Here we have some uses here. It is unnecessary, we don't need that. Let's click on examples. We want to see some examples. Let's click on this button. As you can see, our sweet alert will look like that. Not look like that actually. We need confirm alert actually. Let me see this one. not this one. This one have 3 buttons actually. Let's here this one, a confirm dialog with a function attached to the confirm button. Okay, let's click here. Yes, we need something like that. So suppose this is our delete button. When the user will click on the delete button, he will see this pop-up message that are you sure. If we click on yes delete it, that means the data will be deleted. Otherwise, if we click on cancel, the action, I mean the operation will be cancelled, right? And this is the code for it. So what I can do is I can copy this entire portion, copy it from here, and let's go to our code editor, and I'm still opened, I mean in my master.delete.php file, and we'll be registering this entire code in globally, right? This code will be accessible from all of our pages, so that's why we will be putting it into our master blade. If I scroll a bit, okay, previously we handled the toaster, we have the image upload portion here as well. Okay, here we have a script tag, right? After this script tag, I guess I can add another stuff. I will add here document ready, document dot ready. Let's add the callback function. Okay, inside of it I can paste all of the code that we copied from here, from the suite alert. Let's format it. We can just right click and click on format document. It will format it like that. Okay, so we want to fire this alert on some sort of action, right? So as I was saying, whenever we'll be clicking on the delete button, it will fire that model that we just saw from the suite alert. That means it will work on click event. Got it? Okay, so here let's go to top. Inside the document ready, I will get a class. I mean I'll be selecting a class which will be, let's say, delete item, delete dash item, like that. Okay, let's bind on click event on it. Click, I guess not like that actually, because we are inside, these buttons are inside Datatable, right? And under the hood it is using jQuery Datatable, which is little bit tricky to work with. So normal selection like that will not work. It will not work, absolutely not work. What we have to do, we have to do it a little bit more cleverly. I will select the body, like body, then dot on, then we will add our event name, click, and in the second argument what we will do, we will add our class name. So our class name will be delete item, then we will add a callback, like that. Okay, so why we are doing this one? Because we're saying that select the body. That means our jQuery query will select the entire body. From the body we'll be we'll be binding this click event on this class. If we did previous way, most of the case the click event doesn't work, because these buttons are inside a table which is our data table, right? So anyways, follow this approach, otherwise most of the time the click event will not work on these buttons. Okay, so what we have to do is now we have to put this entire thing inside of our this block of code, right? So whenever we'll be clicking on this class, it will show our this alert. Got it? So what we have to do, we have to use this class into all of our these buttons. So let's copy this class name and let's open the slider Datatable.php. Here we have our delete button, right? And let me see, here we have a class, right? So inside the class I'll be putting our this class delete item. That's all we have to do, and this class will be implementing in implemented in all of our delete buttons. Let's give it a refresh. Okay, now if I try to click on it, look at here, when I click on it, it just reload the page, and we saw the model, right? If I click here, look at here, and I can see the model, but it also redirect to our redirect us to any other page, right? So what we have to do, why it is happening, because of we are using anchor tag, and it is basically the default behavior of the HTML for that whenever we'll be clicking on an anchor tag, it will reload the page and take us to the specific page on the href. So we have to prevent it. We have to prevent the default behavior. So what I'll do here in the function, I'll take the event, let's add here e, and we'll be preventing the event. So default behavior of our browser, e dot prevent default. Now let's check it out. Let's go here, refresh this page, let's click on it, look at here. Now we can see our model, but our page is not reloading anymore because we are preventing the default behavior of our browser. Perfect, we're almost done here. We are getting our alert here. Now we can cancel it, and also you can click on the yes delete it, and it will show us this pop-up message that deleted successfully, and it will go away. So currently it's basically static, it is just showing the model. We have to make it dynamic, like whenever the user will click on yes delete it, it will send the AJAX request to our backend part, right? And in the backend we'll be also passing some stuff from here, like ID, like row ID. Whenever clicking whenever we are clicking on this item for delete, and when we will click on this yes delete it, it will also pass the ID of the row that we are trying to delete to the data. In our controller side, we will grab that ID from the database and we'll be deleting it and send the response that data has been deleted. In that case, we will do some stuff. We can reload our page or do anything we want, but our data will be dynamically deleted. Got it? So we'll be handling the AJAX part in our next video. That's it for this video. I hope you understand till now, and I'll be seeing you at the next one. Okay, so now we'll be handling our AJAX part. So previously we added sweet alert into our this delete buttons. They are working perfectly. Now, as I said, whenever we'll be clicking on this yes deleted button, it will send AJAX request to our backend part. Then we'll be handling our logical part there. All the deletion part, delete row part will be handled into our controller side. Then after deleting the row, we'll be returning a response. Depending on the response, we'll be doing some stuff, like we can reload our page for show our results, etc. Let's cancel it. Let's go to our code editor, and what I'll do here, I'm currently at the master.builder.php where we left in previous video. So here, as you can see, here is our sweet alert, right? And if you scroll a bit, from here you can change the title, text, icon, etc. After that, as you can see, we have a then function here. Inside the then, what we are doing here is we're checking, we have an if condition. Basically, from the response, we're checking is confirmed, right? Basically, when we are clicking on this yes deleted button, look at here, we are getting another model deleted successfully, right? It is coming from this portion. Look at here, delete, your file has been deleted. So from the result, we are checking is confirmed, and this portion is running whenever we are clicking on the confirm button. If I go here, this button, whenever clicking on this, when we are clicking on this button, this is confirm property giving us true, and this alert is showing. So what we can do is we can put our AJAX code here, because as I said, we want to send the AJAX request whenever the user will click on this yes deleted button. Okay, so let's do it then. I will go here and let's put here AJAX code. Let's put here $.AJAX. Okay, so first of all, what I'll do here, I will be providing the method. So method will be delete method. As I said before that resource routes destroy route basically supports only delete method. So in the method we'll be adding the delete. That's when our request type will be delete. Then we can pass the URL. For now we can make it empty. We'll be adding here URL, don't need to worry. After the URL, what we'll be doing here is we have to add data because we have to pass the ID. So I'll be making it empty for now as well. Let's add here success. We'll be adding the success function here. Let's take response here, and also we'll be adding the error also. Error function for grab any kind of error. You can call it error, and we can add here console dot error like that. Okay, now our Ajax structure is ready. Now what we have to do, we have to add our URL and also the data. Now the URL have to be a dynamic URL because we'll be reusing this entire code. I mean reusing the model. Whenever we will have a delete button and we have to add any kind of confirmation alert there, we'll be using this class on that button, right? If we use this class on the button, it will implement this sweet alert in the buttons like this. Okay, and as you know that we're using an anchor tag for this button, right? And this anchor tag have a href, and in the href we have our dynamic route. If I inspect this one, look at here in the href we have our dynamic route here, right? So as the route is already exists into this anchor tag, we can use jQuery for grab these href attribute value, right? And as you know that I mean as you can see that in the href we are storing the URL of the delete route. So it will be simple for us. Let's go here. Let's go to top, go outside of the this function, sweet alert function, go outside of it, and I will add here a variable URL. And what I'll do here is let me add here this basically represents to this current element that we're clicking. From the this we'll grab the value of the attributes. We have to provide the attribute name. So from where we are grabbing the value, I mean want to grab the value from the href. So let's put the name of the attribute, which will be href, like that. And now if I console log it, sol.log, let's put the URL inside of it. Now let's go to our front end, refresh this page, let's open the console. Okay, let's click on this delete button and look at here in the console we are getting the URL of the button. As I said, this button have dynamic URL in them, so whenever we are clicking on that, we are grabbing the URL, delete URL from the href attribute, right? So currently we are console logging it here. As you can see, we are getting our delete route admin /slider/ then our dynamic row ID. Perfect. So it's as it's working, we'll be not needing this one, remove this one. So in the URL portion here, I'll be putting this URL variable like that. We're putting this variable here. Okay, now what we have to do in the data, we have to pass the ID. Actually we don't have to pass the ID, because if you noticed already, we're already passing the ID in our URL, right? In the delete URL you have to pass your dynamic ID. As you know, if I go to Datatable, slider datatable.php, look at here in the href we are adding the route in the delete button, and in the second argument we are passing the row ID, right? So this is the row ID that we are getting in our URL. So this means we don't need this data portion. Remove this portion from here and we are good to go. For make sure that everything is working, we can add here we don't have to add anything here. Actually, we can inspect it from our network tab anyways. Yeah, it seems fine. Now let's open the slider controller. Here is our destroy method, right? So in the destroy method, I will just dump, let's say it's working, something like that. So by that we'll be knowing that actually our route, or because this method is hitting whenever we are hitting the destroy route. Got it? Let's check it out. Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, let's open the network tab. As we are sending AJAX request, we'll be able to see the request from this network tab. Let's click on delete button, any of the delete button, click on yes, delete it, and look at here, it just send it a delete request, right? Though we are getting a status 401, that is a CSRF error status. If I go to response, look at here, it is saying that CSRF mismatch. This means we have to add CSRF into our header. So for fix that one, let's go to our master.blade.php. Didn't I add it in previously? Let me check out my master header. Let's go to top. Okay, so previously we added the CSRF meta tag in our Frontend master, if you recall it. Let me open the Frontend folder. In the views folder, we have Frontend, this one actually, not this one. Here it is. Open the layouts folder, open the master.blade.php of the Frontend. Got it? Look at here, we have this AJAX setup, exactly what we need. We have to set up the CSRF on our AJAX setup. I mean AJAX header actually. So we'll be copying it. Before that, we need the meta also. Let's go to top and let me see. We have this one. Then we have this one. This one carries, look at the meta name. It is CSRF token. So I will copy this meta portion. Let's go to our master blade of the admin. And in this meta, I'll be putting the CSRF meta like here. Let's go to Frontend meta again. Frontend master again. Scroll a bit. Then we have this portion, which is basically will set up our CSRF token in AJAX headers. So I'll just copy this entire thing. You don't have to change anything here. Everything will be same. Let's copy it. Let's go to admin master. Let's go at the bottom. Okay, so here what I'll do is at the top, I guess before this document ready, I can put it here like that. Let's format the code and make sure you put it before the document ready. You can put it inside the document ready as well, but sometimes it don't work in my case, so I always put it outside of the document ready. If you get any kind of error, then we will be putting it inside of the document ready. It's totally fine. For now, our CSRF issue should be fixed. Let's go and check, refresh this page. Let's clear this up, network tab. If I click here, yes, delete it. Look at here, now we are not getting the 403 error. We are getting a new error, which is 500. Let's click on it. In the response, look at here, we're getting our string. It's working. That means everything is fine. That means we are hitting our method. Now rest of the thing, I hope you already guessed what we will do. As we are hitting our controller side, we will be just grabbing the row from the database if the row actually exists, depending on the ID, and we'll be deleting it from here. So let's do it then. I will add a variable slider is equals to slider find or fail, put the ID inside of it in this line. Then we can just add slider delete, right, like that, and then we can just return response. We will add a status response here, status, which will be success, and we'll also add a message here which will be deleted. You can make it capital case, deleted successfully, something like that. Okay, so if we deleted the data, it will just send us this response, and depending on the response we can reload our front end page, or also we can reload our data table, so we'll be seeing it. But here I will add additional layer, additional validation layer, like I'll be putting this entire code in a try catch. If anything goes wrong, suppose ID doesn't found, in that case user will not notify that ID doesn't exist, or he will not get any kind of status, because by default we are sending status success, that we are assuming that our data has been deleted. But if anything goes wrong, so for that we have to also add some sort of layer of validation. So what I'll do, I'll cut this entire code, let's add a try, put inside of it. Okay, let's put here not else, actually catch paths. Okay, let's add backslash exception, let's put e here. Okay, so from here what we'll do is in case of any kind of thing goes wrong, I'll just copy this one, paste the response here, make sure you return it from here, return, and what we'll do here, the status will be error, like that, and the message will be e, then we'll chain get message, this one, make sure you remove this portion, this quotation, and we're good to go. Now you can just refactor the code. Okay, so now if anything goes wrong, at last we will get some sort of error notification that where is the issue is occurring, right? Perfect. Now let's handle our alert part. So as we'll be getting our response, we have to do something with the response. Before that, let's see, are we getting the response or not? Let's go here, refresh this page, make sure you are viewing the network. Let's clear this up, and what I'll do here, let's say I want to delete the first one. Look at the ID, so we'll understand that is our data has been deleted or not. Look at here, I'm trying to delete this number 1 entry. Let's click here, click on yes, delete it. Look at here, we send it a AJAX request and we're getting 200 error, status, that's mean our data has been deleted. Look at here, status is success, message is deleted successfully. Got it? If I press here OK, look at here, our data still exists here, but the data has been deleted, we didn't update it our DOM. So if I refresh this page, you'll be seeing number 1 ID has been deleted. Look at here, there isn't any kind of number 1 item into our table. That's mean our delete logic is working fine, and we also are getting a response from our controller side, this responses, right? Now let's go to master.delete.php. We have to show some sort of stuff depending on the status. First of all, let's start with the success. In the response we are getting a status, right? So I will add a if condition. In the if condition I will add response dot status is equals to if that is success. In that case, what I'll do here is I will show a alert. We can show this alert which is showing that it is deleted, item has been deleted, but I will be not using this one. We'll be following our convention because in everywhere we are showing toaster alert, if you know. So we'll be using the toaster, call this object. From there we will add success, right? And in the success, what we have to do here is we have to put the message. So the message will be coming from response dot message. Remember, we are passing a key message which is carrying our message, so we are accessing that message here. Perfect. That will do the job. And here I will add a else if portion, like that, it will be else if. I'll copy this portion, paste it here, and if the status is error, in that case what I'll do here is I will add a toaster. I'll show a toaster obviously, and toaster message, because look at here, we're adding a dynamic message here. So that will do the job, though we could have handled the error in the error function, but it's totally fine. We are handling it in the same position. Okay, now let's check it out. Let's go here, refresh this page, clear this up, everything. Now if I delete the number 2 one, let's click here, delete. Look at here, we're getting a message that deleted successfully. Perfect, it's working. Now what we have to do, we have to reload. Either we can reload our page whenever we will get a response, I mean a success response. We can reload our page, or what we can do is we can reload our table actually. Okay, so reloading the page will be little bit inconvenient as we're using Ajax. So what we can do here is, without reloading the page, we can update our table, right? As you know that we are using Yajrabox Datatable, it is by default under the hood using jQuery Datatable actually. So jQuery Datatable entirely based on JavaScript, or you can say jQuery. So why not use it? Let's use the power of jQuery here. First of all, what I have to do here, I will check this table's ID, inspect this table. Let's go here. Here is our entire table. Look at here, this table have a ID which is slider table, right? So we'll be copying this ID. We need this ID. Let's go here in the success. What I'll do here is I'll select this table ID like that. Make sure you add the hashtag because we are working with the ID. Then let's call the data table. It will not like this, it will be data table. Okay, we're calling this data table method, and we will chain another method which is draw, draw. Okay, in this line. Okay, now let's check it again. Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, let's go to network tab, clear this up. Now let's try to delete this third number. Let's click on delete. Yes, delete it. We are getting the status, and if you notice, we got a reload here and our data has been deleted already. That means without any kind of reload the page, we updated our table, right? Perfect. So everything is working. If I try to delete the 4 number one, let's click on delete. Look at here, we saw a loading here. We're getting this status and our data has been removed from our table. Perfect. So that's it. Our delete feature is also completed. And if you want to know more about Datatable and draw, you can just search it at the Google. This draw method is basically just drawing the table, I mean re-rendering the table, that's all. You can just go to Google and search for jQuery Datatable draw, and you will find the documentation. jQuery Datatable have a huge documentation about all the functions and features about it. If you are interested about it, you can just read the documentation. It's totally fine. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the next. Hello everyone. So our slider code is almost completed. We completed our create feature, edit feature, and as well as our delete feature, and everything is working perfectly. Now the last thing what we have to do, we have to give it a finishing. Like, look at our index page. In the index page we are showing the image path, right? But we are not showing the image itself, so we have to show our image here. And as well as I'll be adding a new column here. We have a status system into our slider, as you know, right? We can inactive or deactive, I mean active or deactive a slider, right? So we have to add some sort of label into our this slider, that which slider is activated and which slider are not, right? We have to show it here. So for that we will be creating a separated column here. Okay, so first of all, let's handle the image. So currently directly from the database we are showing the path of the image directly here. So let's go to our code editor and let me close everything from here. Let's close the sidebar as well. Let's open the app, Datatable folder, open the slider datatable.php. And if I scroll a bit at my get columns method, as you know that we have to register all of our column in the get columns, otherwise the columns will not appear at the front end. So here we will add, here we already add image, and this is basically the name of the column that already exists into our database, database table. In the database table we have an image column, and we are just using that column name here in our data tables columns. That's why it is just showing the value of that column, right? But we don't need the value only, we need actual image. We have to render that image. So this means we have to create a custom column for that. This database column will not work for that, for this situation. So let's go to top. Here, as you can see, we have data table method. In here we already have a custom column, which is this one, action. Now I will add another one, just chain another method after this one. This one basically ends here, this add column. So we will chain another add column here, and first of all we have to add the column name. So for this one I will add here image. Image will be my column name, and second will be basically our callback function. Here what I'll do, I will add this query instance, because we need to access the image path from the database, and we can grab all of our database data from this query. So similar way as we return anchor tag, our edit and delete buttons will return a image tag from this portion right now. So return, let's add here a string, put here HTML, image src is equals to, let's put here quotation, like that. Now in the src we have to add our image path. Okay, so we'll be following the same approach that we used into our buttons. We'll be dividing this string, so let's put here first quotation to first quotation, then we'll be concatenating a function which is asset, because our files, all kind of uploaded files that exist into our uploads folder. Then inside the inside our public folder, inside the public folder we have uploads folder. In that specific folder we uploaded, we are uploading all of our images. So this asset function will give us the public path address. Then what we have to do, we have to call the query. From the query we will get the image path. In the image attribute field we stored our image path, right? So it will do the job. Let's end this line. Now as I said before, that if we create a custom column, we have to register this column into our get columns method. So we call this column image. So if I scroll a bit, look at here, we already have an image column here. This time this column name represent to the custom column that we created. This not this is not representing the database column anymore. Now this time it will use this column that we just created. Now let's check it out. Let's go to our front end, refresh this page, and look at here. We are not getting a path, a solid path anymore. We are getting a image tag here. Look at here, img src. In the src we have the path of our image. Perfect. Now what we have to do, we have to render the image. Currently we are just printing the tag as a string, so we can see the tag, but we have to render it. So we have to say Datatable that we want to render that column. So after this add column we will chain another method which is raw column. Just add this method here. In the array you have to provide the column name that you don't want to process. So by that we are saying that we want these columns as raw columns. So I'll put here image. Instead of it you can put the image tag. Let's go here, refresh this page. Look at here, we can see our image, but it is pretty big, so we have to resize it. We can add a width here. Let's say width width, and width will be let's say 150 pixel will be enough, I guess. Let's go here, refresh this page, and look at here. Here is our image. Now look at here, our image is now rendering, but our buttons are not rendering anymore because we are using this method, raw columns. So as I said, if you have a button that have HTML in it, I mean which is returning HTML, you can use this raw columns for render that HTML. Got it? So we are rendering the image column. We need the action column as well. So look at here, we have another column name which is action. Paste it inside the array, and you will be seeing that our issue has been resolved. Yeah, perfect, it's working fine. So everything seems fine here. I guess I'll be making this image a little bit more small because look at here, it is not looking that great actually. Let's make it 100 pixel. Let's go here, refresh this page. Yeah, far better. Now I can resize this width of the column. Actually, I guess I can add some fixed width for our ID and image, because image size will be not change, it will be 100 pixel always. And for the ID, we don't need that much big spacing here, so let's add some stuff here. Let's go here, we have the ID column here. Let's change width, and let's say our ID width will be, I guess 60 pixel will do the job. And for the image width, I guess 100 pixel will do the job. Let's go here, refresh this page, and look at here, it is looking like that. Our ID column is now way more smaller, and as well as the image. I guess for the image column I can add here 150. Let's give it a little bit breathing space. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's it for our this index page. It is looking great, and I will add a new item here. Let's insert a new item. Let me add a new image here. I guess this one will do the job. I'll be putting some dummy content here because it will take some time to add new contents here. Let's put here status yes. Click on create, and our data has been created. Okay, but here as you can see we have an issue. Our fastly created data should be at the first, or okay, I mean currently it is in ascending order, I guess, but the thing is it is ordering by image column. If I show you, if I go at the slider datatable.php, look at here, in the HTML method we have a method called order by. It is 1 by default. Okay, so 1 is basically this column. Our columns start from 0 actually, so 0 1, so it is ordering by this column, but we have an ID here, so we can make it order by 0. That's in order by ID. So if I refresh this one, the latest post, or you can say latest item that we created, will be at the top like that. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now let's move on to our next column. As I said, we'll be creating another column here, so it will be the same. Let's go here, like previously we added a image column, this time we will add another column, and at the end we added this raw columns method, right? But let's add a enter here, then we will add another column, add column. The name of the column will be status, like that. Let's add a callback function. We'll be taking the query here, inside of it query, like that. And make sure this raw columns is always after all of your add columns, otherwise it will not work, right? Look at here we have the add columns here. After the add columns I am adding here the raw columns. Fine. Okay, so from here we have to return some stuff. I'll add a if condition here. Let's put the query. From the query will be check the status. Status is equals to 1. In that case we'll return from here a label. or what we can do, let's add here active string. I'm just returning a string for now, and in the else part, that's mean it will be inactive, something like that. Got it? So our column has been created. We'll be registering this column into the raw columns as well, because we'll be adding here HTML, but for now we are testing with a string. Status, like that. If I go to front end, refresh this page, look at here, our column is not appearing because we have to register this status column into our get columns method. So let's go to bottom. We have the title. After the title, I'll copy this column, paste it here, and make it status. Let's go here, refresh this page, and look at here, we can see our status. So currently for our both of our slider is activated, so that's why we're getting the status activated, and currently we're showing just a string, but here I want to show some sort of label or anything, label or badge. Let me search it in the Google. Bootstrap badge. Here we have the badges. Let me check it out. Okay, so yeah, I want something like that actually. So we have primary badge. I can just copy this one span from here. Let's go to top. Here we have this active one, right? Remove it, paste it here. In the name we will add active. It will be primary. It's perfect. Primary will do the job. The secondary, second one will be the inactive. You can do it like that, or we can do it like that. It's totally fine. I'll make it danger. Now let's go to front end, refresh this page, and look at here, we are getting our badge, right? Suppose I want to disable this one, this slider. So in that case, I have to go to the edit portion, and I have to just make it inactive. Update. Look at here, this slider is now inactive, right? So our slider code is completed, and it seems fine. We have though some issues in our design, like look at here in the pagination, it is not showing that much great, but don't worry, we'll be fixing it later on, because this is a design part. If we fix it later on, it's totally perfect. After ending everything, we'll be checking out all of our stuff. If we find any kind of design issue, we'll be then fixing it. For now, let's focus on our development state. Totally focus on the development. So here I am seeing another issue in my header. My header is incorrect. I can change it to my let's go to our resources, views, then we have the admin slider. It is coming from index. So instead of card header, what I'll do here is I will add all sliders, something like that. Refresh this page, all sliders, perfect. Here as you can see, we have another issue. If I refresh this page, look at here, I'm getting 2 reloads. Again refresh, look at here, I'm getting 2 reloads. So here is another error. Basically we're using a template, right? We're using a third-party admin template, and also we have a third-party plugin for our Datatable. We're using Yajrabox Datatable, and remember when we implemented the Yajrabox Datatable, we added CSS and JavaScript CDNs, right? So sometimes some stuff can go wrong in the design side, because this template and the CSS of the Datatable is conflicting with each other. That's why when you are seeing a loading state, look at here, we're getting 2 loading state. And now here as you can see, for the pagination also we don't have the design, so we'll be fixing all of those. And also you will be notice that our alert is not working at our backend. That design is not showing that much great. Look at here, we have a broken icon here, and it is not looking that great. So we'll be fixing all of these CSS issues later on. Don't need to worry about that. in any kind in any of our future videos. For now, leave everything as it is. So that's it for this video. Our slider code is completed at our backend. So in the next video, what we will be doing is we'll be working with our main front end. That's when we'll be showing our this all datas or sliders in our this slider section. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and I'll be seeing you at the hello beyond. So in this video, I'll be fixing an issue that I encountered into our slider CRUD. Yeah, I know in previously I said that in this video we'll be working with our front-end template, but first of all we have to fix this issue. After that we will be jumping into our front-end part. Got it? So the issue is in our delete portion, or you can say in our delete feature. Previously we tested out our delete feature. It is working perfectly, but sometimes it caused some issues. Like in case of this way, if I go to the edit, currently I have one data and I open the edit page of it. I will do nothing from here. I'll just click on update. Okay, so I am redirect back to my index page. Now look what happened. If I go to network tab, and now if I try to delete this item, if I go here and click on yes, delete it, look at here, we are not getting any kind of delete notification. And look at the network. In the network we are getting an error which is 419. Our response is 419. If I go to response and look at here we are getting CSRF token mismatch. So this is the issue that is occurring, and it is occurring only when we are redirect back from any other page. If I just refresh this page and try to delete, it will work perfectly. But whenever I am trying to delete a entry after coming back from another page, it is giving me this CSRF token mismatch error. Let me demonstrate you a little bit better way. If I refresh this page, just refresh. Now if I try to delete this one, if I click here delete, if I click yes, and look at here, our data has been deleted and item has been removed from our table. Now here our item is deleted. Here also we have a issue. Basically I'll be talking about it also, but first of all let's focus on the CSRF issue. Okay, let's clear this up. Let's clear create a new data because we don't have any. Let me just select any of the item and put some content here and click on yes, create. Look at here, our data has been created. Perfect. So previously, as you saw, that when I just refresh the page and click on delete, it worked fine. But again, if I go to edit page, I'll do nothing here. Just click on update for redirect back to our index page. So we are redirect back to our index page. Now look at here. If I clear this up, let's click on delete. Yes, delete it. It's not working anymore. It is giving us 419 error, which is a CSRF mismatch error. Now I inspect this issue and couldn't find a valid reason why it is happening. I guess the main reason could be our this Ajax setup Ajax setup portion is not loading correctly. If I show you, if I go here and if I just echo this one, actually console log the header. So just copy the Ajax setup, and from there we will change the headers. Okay, so we'll be console logging the headers here inside this script. So whenever we will be refreshing, it will just console log the header. If I go here, refresh this page, click on refresh and go to console. So look at here, in the console we are getting an object. This is basically our header object. Inside of it we have this XCSRF token, and this is our CSRF token. Got it? So in the header it is setting the CSRF token perfectly, but what is happening is whenever we are clicking on this delete button, this token has been being destroyed. If I go here, if I copy this portion and put it inside of this click event where we are handling the click, just put it here. And for now what I'll do is, let me comment out this Ajax part. Okay, we'll be not deleting our stuff. I'm just showing you what is happening here. If I go here, refresh this page, look at here, we are getting the token here. We are console logging the token, but if I click on this delete button, this time look at here, we are getting the token again. This is coming from this delete event, the click event. So when we're clicking on this delete item, it is just console logging this header, so we are getting our data. But the what is happening is, if I go to edit page and if I click on update, so look at here, we're getting our token, and this token is basically this token that we are console logging outside of our this click event. If I go now at the front end, if I now click on delete, look at here, inside the click event we have the same code, console log setup Ajax setup headers, but in that case now it is showing undefined, right? So something is happening when we are redirecting back to our any other page, our sources are not loading perfectly for some reason. In this second request, when we are coming back to our index page, redirect back to our index page, whenever we are clicking on this delete button, our token has been destroyed. Header token has been destroying somehow. Okay, so here is the issue. So this Ajax setup is not working perfectly for us actually. And also I tested it in putting it inside the document ready, but it didn't work. For now, what we can do is I can just comment it out. For now, I'll be not removing it. Just comment it out. Just remove this console, remove this one as well. Okay, and also we'll uncomment the Ajax part. We need this one. So what I'll do, I will be passing manually the token into my Ajax request. Got it? So this setup is not automatically adding our CSRF token in our header, Ajax header. So the second way of doing that will be passing the token manually into our request. So what I'll do, after the URL, I will add data property here. Then let's add here curly braces underscore token semicolon. Then we will add curly braces, and in the curly braces what we will be doing, will be echoing the CSRF token. So CSRF underscore token, just call this function, it will give you the CSRF token, and we are done. So it will when we will be submitting the Ajax, it will just pass the CSRF token in our request. That's it. Though instead of using data we could have used header, but it's fine. Okay, now let's check it out. Let's go here, refresh this page, and yeah, one thing we have, okay, so we have another error here. It is saying syntax missing. Okay, yeah, I forgot to add here a comma. Okay, now if I go here, refresh this page, fine. Okay, now the next thing is this portion. When we're getting a success response, what we are doing, we are just calling this, selecting this ID, which is slider table. Then we're calling this Datatable draw, and it is also working fine. But look at here, this is a static ID, and as I said, we'll be using this entire code. This is a reusable code. We'll be using it lots of other places, right? So this ID had to be dynamic, because currently we're working with slider table, right? So that's why when we inspect this one, in the table we have a ID which is slider table, right? But whenever we'll be creating a new table for work on it, this table ID will change depending on our class name, or you can say depending on our model name. So currently we're working with the slider table, and our data table name is slider data table, which is basically using slider model, right? Depending on the model, it created a dynamic ID which is slider table, which is for specifically this table, right? Whenever we'll be working with a new table, this portion will not work, right? Because we are just putting here a static ID. So this one won't gonna be work, so let's remove just this one, and instead of this, for now what we'll be doing is we'll be reloading our page, right? If we got a success message, then we will be simply reload our page. By that we'll be by that the table will automatically redraw and we will be able to see our changes. Got it? So let's do it then. I'll call window location dot reload. Okay, in this line, so this will just reload the window. Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, now let's check it out again. Let's go to our edit, click on update. So we're back from update. Now let's try to delete it. Click on delete. Yes, delete it. Okay, nothing happens, so let me check it out. Let's go to network tab. Let's click on delete again. Yes, delete it. Okay, something is wrong, something is not working. Let's go to console. It is saying that in promise reference is not defined. Okay, this is the token that we're seeing. Let me check it out again. Let's go here. Let's click on this link. Let's say something. Let's refresh this page. Okay, let's go here. Let's click on delete. Yes, delete it. Okay, so something is wrong. Let's click on slider. Okay, so from this data portion we are getting an error. Yeah, sure. We have to wrap this one into a quotation. We have to pass it as a string, right? So now it will work. Let's go here, refresh this page. Let's go to console, clear this up. Let's go to edit page, click on update. Okay, we are redirect back. Now if I try to delete this one, click on delete. Yes, delete it. So we are getting this deleted successfully. That means our data has been deleted, but we're getting an undefined error. Windows location is undefined. Okay, so it is coming from this portion. Okay, so I made a typo here. It will be location, like that, location reload. Let's try it again, refresh this page. Okay, look at here, we don't have any kind of data. That means our CSRF issue has been resolved, but I'll be double checking it. Let's select the image. Let's fill some data. Let's click on create. So data has been created. Perfect. Now what I'll do is let's go to edit page. Let's click on update. So we redirect back to the index page. Now let's try to delete this one. Click on delete. Yes, delete it. And look at here, our page is automatically reloading and our data has been deleted. This time we are not getting the CSRF error anymore. So that's it for this video. Our issue has been resolved. Now we can move into our next step. So in the next video we'll be working with our front end. Before that we have to put some contents into our table because our table is currently empty. Anyways, we'll be doing it in our next video. See you at the next one then. Okay, so finally we'll be working with our front end portion. Our slider code is completed at our backend. Now we have to show all of our dynamic contents in this portion. So let's start our work. First of all, we have to find this portion, right? So let's go to code editor and I'll be closing all of this stuff. Now let's collapse this one also. So as we will be working with the front end, so let's go to resource view and open the front end folder. And now let's open the home folder. In the home we have the components. In the components there should be a slider file. Yes, look at here, we have the slider.play.php. basically this is our first section. If you can't find it, that which one it is, open the index.play.php. and if you recall, for each section we created a separated file. So our first section is this slider. This means this first one is the slider file. Look at here, it is inside the component and the file name is slider. Just open this one. So here is the slider. Now we have to make it dynamic, right? Before doing anything, what I have to do is I have to put some data into my backend side, I mean in our slider table, because my slider table is now totally empty. Look at here, right? So I'll be needing some images. So for that, what I can do is I can open my HTML template of frontend. Here is my, not this one, here is my frontend template, and from there just open the index.html. This is our index template, right? So here, as you can see, we have the slider and we have some dummy images here. We can use these images as our reference. Just download this one and download another one. Let's say this one, save as. Okay, so it already exists. Let's click on yes. Okay, so I downloaded the picture. Now I have to create some data. Okay, let's click on create new. Let's select the image. Let's say I will select this one at first. Now in the offer, we have to put some content. Offer will be basically this offer that you can see here. Let's say I will make it 70%, like that. Then we have the title. We can copy the title from here in our slider.play.php. We'll be not adding real content, but we can use this dummy content as well. Just add the title, then we have a small subtitle here, just copy it, paste it here. Then we have description, copy this portion, paste it here. And in the button link, let me fix this one up. Okay, so in the button link, what we can do, we can add any kind of URL here actually. So let's say I will add here google.com for just example. In real scenario, we'll be putting here our website link, I mean offer page link. So for now we don't have anything like that. So yeah, make sure the status is yes. Click on create, and look at here, our data has been created. Perfect. Now let's create another one. I'll be taking two sliders here. Let's say we have this one. Now I can copy again, just copy this portion, paste it here. Let's make it 60 because previously we added 70, I guess. Let's copy the title, paste it here. Then we have this one, subtitle, copy this one, paste it here. Then in the short description, I will be copying this one and paste it here. Remove this portion, white spacing. And in the button text, we can again add google.com. Fine. Let's click on create, and our data has been created. So we have now two sliders, right? And both of the sliders are active. Now as we have the content, now we can show the content at our front end, right? So let's do it then. First of all, I'll be removing all of the static content from here. Not all, I'll be taking one as our loop element. Let me see, we have a row, we have a container, we have this banner slider class, then we have this call, right? So let's collapse this call 12. Then we have some more. So I'll be removing these two call 12s. We don't need that. Just open the first one. Okay, so basically we'll be looping this one. Okay, now before for looping, what we need is we need the loop variable. So let's open the controller. Did we create any kind of controller by home controller? I guess not. Let me check out my app, http controllers. Then we have a front-end controller, we have dashboard controller, we have a front-end controller. If I open the front-end controller, look at here, in the front-end controller we are returning our index view, right, which is basically our home page. So here what I'll do is I will add here a variable sliders is equals to, let's call the slider model. Make sure you import the model at the top. So as we are using the VS Code extension, Laravel extension, it will automatically import it at the top when you will be adding it from the suggestion. Okay, anyways, so from here what I'll do, I will add colon where Then we can add here status, where status is 1. We'll be just getting all of them, right? Perfect. Now we will pass it at our front end, so we'll be using compact, then just pass the slider inside of it. Okay, so this slider will be now available to all of our index files. So let's go to slider. Okay, so I made a typo here. It will be slider. I call it slider. So let's change this one. It will be slider, like that. So as we made change on our file name, we have to go to index.blade.php and we have to make it slider, like that. Okay, let me check it out. Refresh this page. Okay, so it seems like everything is working fine. Perfect. Now let's go to slider.blade.php. Now what I'll do here, I will add a loop here. Let's add a for each sliders, single variable will be a slider. Just put this div inside of this loop. Okay, now let's open this div. Now we'll be start implementing our dynamic contents, right? So first of all, look at here, we have our image. It is our image, right? So I'll just remove this portion and let's add here curly braces, asset. Let's add here slider image, like that. Got it? Now if I go here, refresh this page, and look at here, I can see my slider image. If I go next one, look at here, we can see now the image. Great. So now the next one will be this percentage. What I'll do, I'll remove this portion. Don't remove the off portion. We'll be taking the off portion. Let's put here slider offer. So it will give us the offer value. If I go here, refresh this page, look at here. Now this portion is dynamic. We're getting 70%. Like here. Next one is okay. Let me see. So next one is showing like that, 60% off. Okay, I guess I'll be removing this off static text because as we can store string into the offer portion, so I guess that won't be necessary. We can just go to our backend and let's say edit this one. So it and put it like here, offer or off, like that. Let's make it smaller case, right? It will be more flexible for admin. If I now go refresh this page, look at here, we're getting 70% off. Let it reload perfectly. 70% off. The next one is 60% off. Perfect. Now also here what I'll do is I'll be wrapping it with the if condition. If the user don't add anything here in this offer input can be empty, as you know that. So if it's user don't add anything here, in that case we'll be hiding this portion. That means this design will be hidden. So for that we'll be just adding if condition, and we can just put this one inside of it like that, and let's put it here and it will do the job. Got it? Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, so if we have any kind of content, oh sorry, not here actually, we have to access the offer like that. Got it? If we don't have any kind of content, in that case it will give us false and the design will not load. Okay, so we'll be testing it, don't need to worry. For now let's put our dynamic contents here. Then we have the title. I'll remove this portion. Let's add curly braces, and as we are showing the title, so I'll be not using double curly braces here. Actually I will use curly braces, exclamatory signs for exclamatory sign, and between these two we'll be adding our, we'll be echoing our data, because sometime in our string there could be special character like and, then sometime we add this quotation or alls. So in that case, what happened, these curly braces don't, I mean double curly braces don't render them. So for fix that issue, we always use single curly braces then exclamatory mark for render special characters also when we will be echoing our string. Got it? Okay, so slider title, then I'll remove this portion. I can just copy this entire thing, paste it here, and we can make it subtitle like that. And the last one will be our short description like that. And here is our button, shop now button actually. So here what we'll do here in the href, we'll be adding our link. So slider button underscore link like that. Let's go here, refresh this page. Okay, so our page is loading a little bit slow because we have this contents, and this content have these images, static images. Those images are not loading perfectly. That's why it is taking some time to load. So for fix that issue for now, what I can do, I can comment out all of this section, all the unnecessary section for now. Comment this one. We'll be uncommenting them one by one when we'll be working with the sections. Got it? This one, go to here, we have add slider, menu item, then we have components. Let's comment out this one and this one also. Then we have the slider, then why chooser. So we can leave this to uncommented. Let's go here now, refresh this page. Now we'll see that it reload more faster way because we comment out most of the sections right now. Right, so our this portion is now totally dynamic, and I think we are missing something. If I go to my main page, look at here, we have this background image actually, static background image. Let me check it out. Let's go to slider. Here, as you can see in the URL, we have a link. Let's make it dynamic. Let's add here curly braces, quotation. We'll all of our front-end files are inside the front-end folder, so front-end / images, then let's add here asset like that. And yeah, let's go here, refresh this page, and look at here, we are getting our background. Now all of our this stuff are dynamic. Okay, now let's add the finishing. We have to wrap this button also with the condition. So let me see, we have wrap, you will wrap here, we have this li tag. Before this li tag, I will add a if condition, and let's copy this portion, paste it here. If it returns true, then what we'll do, we'll show the button. As you know that button link field can be empty at our backend, so if the admin doesn't add a button link there, this button will be automatically hidden. So now we have to check it out that if it's working or not. Let's refresh this one, and I will remove this button link from here. Let's click on update. So our data has been updated, right? And if I go here, refresh this page, look at here, for our first one the button is disabled. If I scroll a bit, look at here, for second one we have the button. So our logic is working fine. Similar way it will work with this one also, right? And the last thing we want to check is status. If we disable a status, if it work, I mean if it will hide it from our front end or not. Let's go here, make inactive, update. So our this one, this eat healthy stay healthy banner, or you can say slider, should be disabled and it will hide from our front end. If I refresh this page, look at here, we don't have the slider anymore, we have only one item, right? So that's it. So everything is perfectly working here. So our front end work is done. Let me make it active again. Go here, refresh this page, I mean update the page. Let's go here, refresh the front end. Now again, look at here, we have our slider, two sliders. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and our slider section is totally completed. Though I guess I'll be creating another video. I mean, there will be another single video for fixing some issues into our slider portion, but we'll be talking it about in our next video. That's it for this video. I'll be seeing you at the next one. Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be creating a trait method for delete our files. So previously we completed our slider code, right? It's totally working fine, and as well as we'll be we are showing all of our dynamic contents at our front end as well. But the thing is, if I go to the controller, slider controller, okay, so here look at in the destroy method. This destroy method is handling our delete slider feature, right? So in the try, look at here what we are doing. We are grabbing the row from the database depending on the ID that we're getting from our URL, and we're deleting it, right? But what about the image? If the slider have its own image, right, we are just deleting the data from the database, but we are not deleting the image itself. We did the similar stuff in our update method, that whenever user will, or you can say admin user will upload a new image, the previous image will be deleted. That's why we added this third argument into our method, right? So this is okay, this is working fine. But what about for the destroy method? For the destroy, we didn't handle it, right? So for destroy method, or any kind of this sort of situation where we need to remove a file from our storage, we'll be creating a method. I mean, for that situation we'll be creating a method right now. We'll be calling that method whenever we need to delete a file, and the method will take a parameter. It will be basically the path of the file, and the method will delete the file from our storage. I hope you understand. So let's open the trait. Basically we'll be creating a trait method. So let's open traits, file upload trait. Okay, so here we have our main method, or it is the first method that we created previously, upload image. Let's say we'll create a new method here, which will be remove image, right? And basically it will return void, I guess. Yeah, not this one, void. That means this method will not return anything. It will just do our operation. That's all. Got it? Okay, so in the remove method, what we'll do is we'll be adding a parameter which will be the path, right? And here what we will do, we will be checking the path, that file actually exists into the path or not. If it exists, we'll be deleting it, otherwise we will do nothing. So the same feature we did previously, if you recall. Look at here, we have in the upload image, we have this logic where we are checking file exists or not, then we are removing the file, right? So I'll just copy this logic from here. We can just paste it here, and we don't need this and portion. Just remove it, and we have to change this variable name. We'll be adding here path, this path actually. Got it? So this will be our method which will handle our file delete. I can add here a command, let's say remove file. Okay, and also we can type in this the parameter. It have to be a string actually, string. So we are hinting the param that this the data that we will be passing into this method have to be a string. Got it? So yeah, that will do the job. Now let's go to our slider controller, and what we will do here is our slider instance, right? After that, if the instance exists, I mean the row exists into our database, what we will do is we'll be calling this method that we just created, remove image, and we will be passing the path of our image. So let's add here this remove image, and look at here, we have to pass a path which have to be a string, right? So just copy this one, paste it here, and we'll be accessing the image, this one, like that. Got it? Okay, So everything is fine. Now we have to check it out. So what I'll do is let me check. I'll create a new file actually, I mean new slider actually. Let me see, let's go here, add this, and I'll be adding some random data because we're testing it. Just let's click on create. So our new data has been created. Look at here, right? Now if I delete this one, before that I want to check it out. Let's open the public uploads, and this one, this is our image that we just uploaded, right? And I already opened this image, so I opened the image. Now let's go here. Now let's try to delete this one. Click on delete. Yes, delete it. So look at here, we're getting the message that deleted successfully, and our item has been disappeared from our table, right? Now let's open our code editor. Look at here, our tab already closed automatically where we opened the image. That means the image has been deleted from our folder, right? The image is not exist now. Look at here, the image is not existing. It has been removed from our folder. So now this method will help us for remove any kind of file that we want from our storage. Got it? So that's it. We have to do another thing. I will go to master blade of the admin. Let's open this one. So here we have our query, right, where we are handling the delete portion. So here we checked inside this success status, I mean success function, we are checking the status. If the status is success, then we are showing a success toaster. Then we have this error status for the error. In that case, we are also showing the success status, so we have to remove it and replace it with error, right? So in case of any kind of error, we will be showing red alert, or you can say error alert instead of a success alert. So that's it for this video. Our work here is done. Our slider is perfectly working. Our backend and front end, both of the part has been completed. So from the next video, we'll be jumping into our next section, which is why choose a section. Till then, bye.